It's my channel, and I do what I want. Wah!
Okay, now we're live for real. Maybe. Hello. Welcome to Hobby Vomit. I am Matt. I'm here with my brother.
Pat, I like the movies.
He likes the movies, and our friend from Scotland.
John, I like the movie.
Yeah, he liked the movies too. So if you saw from the title, we are here to discuss a very exciting movie, a franchise I think we all love. I think, Sean, you love. Do you love Avatar?
I love it, not to Pat's level, but
It sounds
do
very
enjoy
like, I love it.
I'm being forced
I
to say
do.
this by Pat.
Yeah. I swear.
No, I do. I do enjoy it.
So yeah, the third Avatar we've been waiting for 3 years, which kind of flew by, and yeah, we're here to talk Avatar. I think it's just called Avatar: Fire and Ash, right? There's no 3, just Avatar: Fire and Ash, the third Avatar movie. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. And basically, it's a little different than our normal movie club that Pat and I do. In this case, we're just doing one movie, and we're going to just start with a little spoiler-free, our thoughts, our scores, and then we're going to jump into a deeper discussion video. So, Pat, take it away with how you want to lead this spoiler-free section.
Absolutely. Great to be here with everybody. This is an exciting moment. Avatar. I do love it. There's nothing like it. So I love it. Sean maybe likes it. We don't know. We'll maybe find out by the end of this review. But yeah, there's nothing like, no one's doing what James Cameron is doing with these movies, and so these are, in the way that Marvel has these kind of event, films that you must go see. That for me is these Avatar movies. We'll see if that still works after a smaller jump from 2 to 3, because from 1 to 2 there was many years waiting and seeing what was going to happen, and mostly everything was positive, so I think that got a lot of people in the door. We'll see how we feel about 3. But of course, going to the theaters for this one was excited. Went with some friends, and so I had to do it in style. So I have a surprise for you guys. I'm gonna tilt the camera down and show you what I'm wearing for a call today. Here we go, Jake Sully.
Nice.
Where did you even get that from?
That's incredible.
I went to the store and back, and this is what I got.
My Jake.
A bootleg vintage Jake Sully.
Where did you get it?
I got it online.
That's hilarious.
I went to the theater, of course, for the premiere. And we got a little Jake from both movies. This is Kirsty's favorite right here.
Yeah, that one's great. It looks like a heart. It's not a heart, is it?
I think it's just like his tribal like makeup or something. And I'm riding on something from the second one, but great shirt.
The one in the other corner looks like he's got like a Scotland flag on his face. Top corner, like
this one. This one. Yeah, looks like the
white.
So we are taking Kirsty's mom to Animal Kingdom tomorrow, and we're going to Pandora, and I will be wearing this there as well. So I had to dress for the occasion.
That's fun, yeah.
So yeah, I think what we're gonna do, because we all have thoughts, and sometimes maybe not somebody wants to go first or whatever. We're just gonna do a little randomization, and we're gonna start by doing a little 1s and 2s. So we're all just on the count of 3, gonna hold up a 1 or a 2. Odd man out is gonna give us their thoughts first. We're gonna start with some spoiler free, and then after all that, we'll jump into all the full details. So if there's a tie for this, we'll just do it again. So I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go. On go. And hold it up. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. All right.
We did it.
1, 2, 3, go.
3-hour stream of us just trying to break the tie.
Yeah, the guy who loves Avatar the most is gonna kick us off.
Hey.
I'm blaming the delay and the
Hot
distance.
seat.
So spoiler free. My rating for it, I'll start off as a 3 out of 5. To compare, I gave Avatar 1 and 2 a strong 4. Probably could have been 4.5 in the first two, but this one lands for me on a 3. Generally, for me, it was a good movie, well made. James Cameron, obviously, it looks beautiful. No one can deny that. I think for me, where it kind of loses its strength is the story. It kind of doesn't really give us anything new, and for me, that's why it doesn't really hit in a higher rating than 3 for me. So, that one of you.
Cool. Yeah. Pat,
Can
you want
you give
to?
us just a small perspective on like what's the vibes? You're maybe the furthest guest we've ever had on this. I'm not sure. Matt can confirm. But
Yeah,
what's the vibe across the pond? What's the vibe in Scotland for Avatar? Is anyone excited for this? Is it just kind of like, I guess I got to go see it? What's the vibe?
It was it was sold out pretty much most nights for the first 2 weeks. I'd say like the theater that I go to now is not as big, so like it's hard to get seats. But no, there was definitely hype for it. But I think the aftermath is kind of a little more disappointment. So for most people, I mean, my girlfriend fell asleep in it. So,
Really?
but it's a long movie. I mean, it's 3 hours long.
It is long.
Yeah, and I think the longest one. Yeah, her biggest take is she fell asleep and I woke her up every time, and she's like, I feel like I didn't miss anything. So it's kind of a say of where the story kind of went. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Fair.
Cool. All right. Oh yeah, I can take it next. I forgot to mention too that we may have a special guest joining us later on the call. We'll see. We've been trying to line it up. Won't give his name out yet, but he's been very busy. He's been on a lot of shows like this, just giving his insight and don't want to give too much away, but he might have some good stories to tell about the filmmaking here. So see if he joins later today. I went in very excited, and I wore my Jake Sully shirt, and have been a big defender of not only one for many years, but then even when two came out too, it was such a nice surprise. I kind of was doubting that second one, even though, as I say, never doubt James Cameron. Kind of was a little bit of just, it's been so long, and like, where are we going from here? And the memes of like, oh, just the water. Okay, now we're just going over to the water. Then next time we're gonna go over to the. I think people are already saying like, then we're gonna do fire. Then we're gonna do. But second one was great. Second one was incredible, and got people excited. I think the second one like really sold people. I'm like, oh, I do like Avatar, because after the first one, there's so much just hate on the internet, and it just developed this goofy reputation of the Pocahontas and the Fern Gully comparisons. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but two, I think, it was like, oh wow, it felt almost like standalone from the first one. It could be, right. Obviously, some stories connected, but you could just watch the second one and have a great time. As I was saying, watching through this one, at some point, I started excited, I was into it. At some point, I started to have the realization like, oh, okay, this really is just kind of a part two to The Way of Water, is how I would describe this movie. This is not a standalone. As the kind of Fire and Ash, I felt kind of promised. It felt like you're going to get a whole new journey, a whole new adventure, and this is very much not that. And I think from looking behind the scenes, and maybe we'll hear a little bit about that later from our guests, it sounds like there was kind of one story that at some point it was decided to kind of split them up and stretch them out. And I think you can feel that, and not in the best ways with this film. So, still lots to enjoy with Fire and Ash. I mean, Pandora is always fun to go back to. There's just the world itself is exciting. We do get some kind of repetitive stuff with some of that in this film, and so the sleeping situation, not super surprised here. So I think some people will kind of be like, we've been here, we've done this before, and so it is long. If you are tired, you're going to not be as engaged, but you still get a lot of cool new engaging things I don't think are super spoiler. People have seen the trailer. You have some amazing cool new hot air balloon ish kind of vehicle animal things that they're traveling in, some new sea creatures. Obviously the one of the big not gimmicks, one of the big advertising aspects of the film is this Ash tribe. You get this new tribe of people, a new villain. So there's still plenty of new stuff in here. Cameron further progresses some of the ideas that were set up in that last one. And by the end of it, it is a spectacle, as it probably always is going to be with Avatar. Did not see it in 3D, but still, it's just, everything looks great. The attention to detail, the care for doing this motion capture and then turning it into people that I genuinely feel like I just think of them as real. I just think of these as like I'm just watching these Navi creatures, and I just totally buy it. I don't even think about it. So it's just so impressive the level of care. But I think, yeah, this is probably the weakest story we've gotten in the Avatar franchise so far. This is probably because it feels repetitive and a little bit of part two. And then also, I think there's just almost, we've reached this point where there's just too many characters, just too many plot threads you're trying to follow. And Cameron's trying to juggle so many of them that a lot of them don't feel satisfying, I felt. Or you're just like, oh, I kind of forgot about this whole little side quest. I guess this is the next step in it, and it just feels like they're just kind of forcing them through sometimes just for the sake of it. Where I've not felt that in the last two, and the second one's had a lot of characters. I mean, they've all had a lot of characters, but the second one had a lot of like main characters once they introduced this family. But this one, I really felt that where it's like there's so many people you're following. You're getting some new villains introduced into this one. There's almost like too many villains, I feel, where you're like no one feels too much of a threat because there's a bunch of them, and I'm like, who is the top dog here? Um, so yeah, I think overall, I agree with Sean. I think there's probably an overall sense of like disappointment, a little bit of meh, a little bit of like it's good. This is not to me Way of Water. I was going to people and I'm like, hey, even if you think you didn't like the first one, it's been 15 years, whatever. Like, I would go see this one. I think you're gonna be surprised. Like, you're gonna like it. I'm not really doing that as much with this one. I'm like, this is not one to me that's gonna for the casual fan that's like or someone that already doesn't really love it. Like, you're probably not gonna like this movie. This is just kind of more of the same. If you love it, if you're like, I just love this world and everything it has to offer, then you'll probably have a good time. But it didn't reach the levels I was hoping for. And so yeah, I settled in on a 3 out of 5. I think the other two I've given fours as the highest at points. My current ranking I still am a big lover of number one as my favorite. So I would go 1, 2, 3, just kind of diminishing returns so far. And looking forward to going into the details.
Nice. Jake Sully.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. Basically to echo what both of you all said, my least favorite of the three. I do think a lot of that is the expectation because of the trailers. I think if I knew going in this was basically a part two to Way of Water, maybe I'd feel differently because that's pretty much what it was. And I don't know. Part of me is kind of glad we're not doing like, and now we're doing fire, and now we're doing earth. And it's like that was the meme. And James Cameron's like, hey, I'm not doing that. And now it ended up being worse for it almost, which, yeah, is a little ironic. But I gave this a 3.5. I still think like, when I think about going to the movies for this type of movie, like be it Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel, these big IPs, where a lot of the times it is kind of a lot of repetition, I'd rather see Avatar than any of those personally. So I still had a great time. I thought the running time flew by, but I could see, I'm also invested in the world, so I could see why someone might fall asleep. But yeah, I thought it was a quick 3.5 hours compared to something like Bree and I just watched Frankenstein, which is only 2.5 hours, and that felt double the length to me than Avatar. So I think the pacing is actually pretty decent. My previous rankings, I think 1 and 2 are both 4s, but I think 2 edges out 1 for me. I think the technology boost and the water was just way, that's James Cameron's thing. I think he loves water, and I thought that passion came through on the second one, and that really opened up the world, like you said. I think 1 I always thought was like fun, it's a good movie, but yeah, 2 was the one that really got me excited for the franchise. And I'd be curious to see how I feel about this on a rewatch, knowing what I'm going into. But it did feel like he had some ideas for Way of Water, and he's he had to kill your darlings a little bit, and he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put them in the third movie instead. And that's where my darlings will lie. So, yeah, I think overall, like, had a good time. I think, yeah, I agree. It's not going to change your mind if you're out on Avatar after 2. Like, this is not going to change your mind. I think if you love Avatar, you'll have a good enough time to where I feel somewhat satisfied enough to bridge the gap into going into 4. And this does feel like going into 4, we will actually be moving forward into a new section of Avatar, I guess, or new story a bit more so than this one. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for me. Not perfect or anything, but had a good time.
We're kind of all similar.
Yeah.
Do we think that there will be more Avatar movies? We can start there.
Well,
And do we think? Sorry, spoiler.
well, it did.
Probably
It,
going.
it did break $1 billion today. As of 2 weeks in the theaters. Obviously it's a very expensive movie to make, so I think it needs to make, I thought, like something like 1.7, 1.8 to like break even or something like that, by Hollywood standards. So I mean, I don't know. I would be okay. I know James Cameron has said like uh, either like books or like he will at least tell us the ending. I actually would be very okay with. I think books would be a really interesting medium for Avatar, and I think it would balance that multi POV a lot better. It will kind of just be written like an epic fantasy book, like a Game of Thrones or something, where you're just jumping POV, but it feels a little more natural in a book format. So I wouldn't hate it, but I feel like there's no way. If Disney, it's like, who cares all about money? It's like printing money. I can't imagine they won't.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's ever a franchise where I don't think Disney's calling shots, it is this. I think James Cameron says yes or no on if there's more Avatar movies.
I see.
I think I could be wrong. I think he's
Yeah,
just too powerful in this regard.
and he would never pass the torch, I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sorry, John, what were you gonna say?
And he just loves making movies. So like I think it was more of a scare tactic there of you guys. If it doesn't make enough money, I'm not going to make any. He's definitely coming back. He's too invested in this world now not to complete it. So to me, he has to. He'll do it.
Yeah, I'm curious. John Landau's producer passed away, and he had a little memorial thing at the end of the movie, and they were kind of like a great partnership on these films. And John Landau, played a big part in kind of keeping them moving forward and stuff. So, the combo of like John Landau's gone, James Cameron's like 70 or 71. He keeps flirting with. He wants to do this big Hiroshima movie. I think he wants to one up the Oppenheimers, and he just has. So I'm curious, will he take a break? Will he move on to something like that? If he does, and that takes 5 years, then all of a sudden you're 75. But James Cameron's also type of like he'll probably do it till he dies, right? He's just going to keep doing it. So I would be very disappointed if it ends on where this movie ends. I think it would be a lame ending to a great franchise. So I hope that there's more.
With no resolution.
Yeah, and I hope they take some time to like jump ahead, have like a contained good story. If you're gonna do we're filming 4 and 5 again, then like write that with that in mind, where it doesn't feel like you're stretching one story into two. So to jump right into spoilers, I think I maybe already asked Matt, I can't remember, but do you guys remember what the final line of the movie is? Because it is very funny.
So we're going into spoilers. So here we go.
I think so. Yeah.
If you haven't seen Avatar, Fire and Ash, and you care about spoilers, then leave. Get out of here.
Spoilers. Colonel Quaritch is back. He's back.
Who?
Colonel Quaritch, the clone Quaritch, is back. Yeah. Do you guys know what the final line of the movie is?
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy.
It does involve Monkey Boy. It does involve Monkey Boy.
It's like a spider quip, right? Is it when he curses? Does he curse? Oh gosh,
he is welcomed into the spirit world family. You're part of the family now, whatever. And he goes, no shit. And if the franchise ends, that will be the final word.
That would be the final line.
Which is kind of indicative of, I think, one of the biggest problems of this movie. And I think a little bit of it is Spider. Like, I feel very mixed on Spider. I love some of the ideas present. I don't know how much of it is Jack Champion's performance versus like you are one of the few humans that's being integrated amongst a bunch of computer digital, just digitally animated characters. So you already kind of look weird. Also, the costume choice is terrible. It's like this Tarzan vibe with the dreadlocks and the loincloth, and it's just a hard
all
sell.
All of the above, yeah.
All of that, and it's just.
And honestly, James Cameron's dialogue is not doing him any favors.
Right. Dialogue's already rough, so you pair it with this, and like he just stands out in the worst ways. And like the final trailer I saw teased a little bit the idea of like him being able to connect via a ponytail. I'm not deep enough to know the name to a creature, and them kind of being like, if and having no mask and this idea of like if humans figure out how to do this planet's doomed. And that's a great hook. I love that idea. It's so interesting and just never really gets there in this movie. I feel where it's that interesting.
Yeah.
The way in which he gets changed to that is fine. I'm not anti it. I feel it was okay. It felt like a little forced just to get it through. I like the explanation. It is not just magic. It is like literally his biology has been changed by Awa and the plants and all that. Like that is interesting. But man, when you get to this like biblical sacrifice scene in the forest, like I'm just not buying it. It just was not working for me with this like we gotta take him out. And it's a shame because they had already planted the seed so well of Neytiri, right? Like at the end of Way of Water, I cut. She says, "As all it's like you believe like she will kill him. She has no loyalties at this point. It's whatever she says, a son for a son or something."
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought they would have leaned into that in a better way. And you know, I almost wish it was her about to do it. Right? She's the one that ends up saving him. Like, and
Well, I think
I guess
that's the whole
it was
point of
probably
her
the
arc.
point. That's probably the point. I just don't know that I ever buy it. I guess
There,
if you ask her right now, like what convinces her, I don't know. She sees the blood on her hands,
the blood
it's
on her
Yeah.
hands
red.
and
Yeah, it was weird.
Varang. I think she sees what abandoning that
Like
her
hate.
family and the hate what can turn you into in their final fight. And I think that with the blood on the symbolic blood on her hands with the paint when she paints herself like Varang. And
I thought the final fight was like after that though. Was it not?
it is that that was like the first thing was the blood on her hands, and then just seeing Varang, I think.
And she never really saved him. Like he done the thing and missed, and then she turns up. So I was like,
That's right. I guess she technically doesn't save. She has a change of heart. That's true.
yeah, she changed her heart. Like they could have made it where she actually did interrupt it and call it off where it wasn't. Sully went, "Oh, well, I'm not going to do it," and then she goes, "Oh, that's a good idea. Don't do it."
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of there was a small part of me that thought like I really want him to do it because that would be such a crazy character arc for Jake, and like I wouldn't mind if I think Jake would think it, in that moment he thinks it's the right thing to do, like he is saving Pandora in theory, and like maybe that is an arc he takes where he kills Spider and and then like maybe he takes out Quaritch himself, they both go down together, and it's like kind of not a good ending for him, but maybe a necessary evil kind of thing that.
Yeah.
And him struggling with that, I was like, man, this could go dark, and I think it would actually be really good. But it doesn't, which is more in line with, typical.
I agree though, like the filmmaking of that scene in terms of building tension works well, and that it leaves you feeling like, okay, maybe they could here.
Mhm.
I didn't think that they actually would, but I agree. The filmmaking at least is decent. I don't know. It's even hard to sell for me on Jake. Like, yes, he's maybe kind of lost his way a little bit, but it's just like you are someone that is not supposed to be here. All right, like you are someone who was adapted, and so just it's hard. It's a hard sell. I don't feel like they've gotten his character to a point where I buy that. I can more easily buy Neytiri being like, I'm trying to protect where I come from.
Sure,
When you are
but
this outsider. Even though, yes, my husband is too. I
think
know.
it's Jake being there and seeing how close they are to reverse engineering it. It's not like just his thoughts.
Right.
It's like he sees them being that close because this is after he's rescued Spider, right? After they get out.
Yeah.
So it's like they're right there. They're on the cusp. And so he's like, I don't know,
I don't even remember. Who is working on
humans. The humans.
The
yeah,
good humans
they
or bad
bad
just,
humans.
I know they were doing the test and they've seen how to do it, and they're like, okay,
humans? He's done that.
Earth this now. Then they escape, and then that's when Sully takes his change of mind, like, oh, we need to kill him. Like,
Yeah.
he's literally about to ruin your world right now.
Exactly. They're this close, and like had that escape, which is arguably one of the worst parts of the movie, is fucking what's his name? Fly the Conchords guy.
Ian Garvin.
Yeah.
My name is Ian Garvin. He tells fucking everybody he meets every 3 seconds. Dr. Ian Garvin at your service.
Yeah. What's he has a line where like what's the line he says? It's so fucking classic James
That's not
Cameron.
the last one.
He
does one of the
like
last
says
one.
something when they're discussing the plan. He's like, "Oh, like I take offense," And she's like, "You take offense," and then later, 15 minutes later, after he saves Jake, he's like, "I take offense." It's just like something like that. It's just really silly.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Ian Gardner.
But like,
Very
if that
important
didn't go to plan, right? Jake is about to be executed, and they're about to reverse engineer Spider. If Jake had died, I think he just sees like how close. If everything didn't go perfectly, Pandora's doomed. Boom. And so I think he just is feeling helpless in that moment of like he sees how close they are. They've already got his blood and everything, and like all it takes is one more mistake, and they've captured Spider multiple times now. He's not very good at escaping.
There's so many captures and releases.
Yeah, which to me, like, I don't know, there is a lot of repetition, but like to me, it's fairly realistic. And if I look at any other major IP, there's a ton of repetition there too. How many times did they kill orcs in a Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, well, it's different. The biggest difference here to me is Quaritch, right? Quaritch is on a one-track mission: kill Jake Sully. That's all he cares about, and he has like 18 opportunities to do so, and I just can't buy it anymore. How many times he walks away from that or lets him walk? It's two. I could buy it. It's like just on the line. This one's like too many. Him run off into the jungle. First of all, just a little goofy visually, but I was like, okay, I guess. But then I thought, okay, well now the approach is going to be different. It wasn't. He just went right back to what he was doing. He's just all right. Gotta get the Ash Clan. We gotta go kill him. It's like you were just right there. Like
it's the fact that they don't even hide it as well because he makes the comment. Well, this is awkward.
Yeah,
you're sitting across the guy trying to kill twice. Do it.
Yeah.
He does that like awkward line 2 times. Like the first time, he doesn't say awkward the first time, but then at the very end of the movie too, it's just like that's where I'm like feeling the repetition. It's hard for me to buy it, and I don't think he's saying it in a self-aware way. Like I'm saying this is okay, we're doing this again. I don't know. So just even Way of Water when I rewatch it, there's a little bit of goofiness with how many times like the kids get tied up on the boat, then they get out, then they're tied up on the boat, and like it's hidden enough where I'm like, okay, but this one I was really feeling that. I'm just like, how many times are we doing this here?
Yeah.
But go back to
it didn't bother me as much. I see on paper how it's repetitive, but like to me, I think that's what's great about Quaritch as a character is that I think he is more nuanced than he appears, and I think Spider and his desire to be a father, and he's not actually Quaritch. I think he does constantly struggle with that, and like I do think Jake, he's struggling with what is his true priority: killing Jake or being a father to Spider, and embracing the Na'vi way. And I think he keeps getting the opportunity, and when he's separated from it, he's like, "This is what I want. This is what I want." And then he gets into that moment, and he can't do it. I think for whatever reason, different reasons. A lot of time that is Spider.
Or convenience is like they're in a fight. It's like if we try and kill each other right now, we're going to lose the fight with this other entity. So it's like, okay, like make peace, deal with that, then I'll deal with you. So I can kind of see it.
Yeah, like most of the time, I see why it's annoying, but I don't know. I hope that it continues where like there was a part of me in the beginning where Quaritch works with like, oh, here we go, Quaritch redemption arc. But then it goes back. Huh?
Right? It's when they escape the Ash Clan, and for the first time they're like all there together, right? The family, and he's kind of a little softer. And I thought, I'm like, here we go. This is like
but there is a part of me that's like, if I step back and looked at it, I'd be like, wow, that was a very quick 180. Like now you're just working with Jake when you have all this hate in you. Like it should be something he struggles with, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I still expected to be a struggle, but just felt like that was going to be somewhat of a turning point. Whereas I think to me, by the end of this movie, like nothing's changed. The end of part 2 Quaritch and the end of this movie Quaritch feels exactly the same to me. Like nothing. I see no difference in them.
Well, I think by the end, I guess there's not a ton of difference, but by the end, like he probably could have killed Jake, but he'd rather, but that would also mean
he wants to catch him again.
I think it's more like he wants to survive so he can be a father. He wants to see his child grow. I think the scene in the army camp when he like is talking about his Medal of Honor and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I think that's just like a different side of
where Spider swats the cheeseburger.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I don't know. I think he does. I think he's more nuanced than he appears, especially being like it's not Quaritch. That is the defining factor. It's like it is a clone of his mind, and I think that is something that would take a long time. In terms of time, how long has this been since he woke up as the Navi Quaritch?
I'm not sure how much like went
Couple
by and
weeks
went
or
by.
months,
Not
maybe.
much. Yeah, not much. I don't think.
So that is, and like you find out you have a son. Like I don't know, it's a lot to process when like you are like a hoorah Marine that is like this is my mission, and like I don't know. I think
I like that on paper. Right? It's like I like the approach of this character Corey. I've been a defender of him because a lot of people hated that he was back in part two. I didn't hate that he was back in part two. I didn't like the explanation for why he was back, but I liked that setup, and I thought that was one of the more interesting parts of Way of Water. This like Spider saving him, and then this moment of like, "Come with me, son." And he's like, "No, can't do it." And I don't feel it then delivered on that like tension in this one. I feel I wanted more from that storyline. Go back to the sacrifice scene. I also just don't know if I buy Spider. Just being like, okay, yeah, you're right. Just kill me. I'm like, I don't
Back,
know.
that whole scene was awful. Like he had no like fear about to die really in his tone, and then he changed his mind like that. Okay, I understand. Like it was so weak, such a weak
He
intro.
doesn't seem smart. He doesn't seem smart enough to have that perspective. I just, and again, he should be. He's also feeling conflicted about like I have this other father figure now. Like even though he still just wanted the cheeseburger, he still is kind of he's saving his life. He's torn, so it just felt too. I just didn't. Yeah, that scene was a hard sell for me.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the? I mean, one of the big new parts of this movie is Varang and the
Sexy
Ash Queen.
Varang,
Sexy
the sexiest
Varang.
alien of all time. You mean?
Yeah. So that's what they're not saying. Um,
I love that. Like, I think they should have ran with her as like the villain. She was awesome. I absolutely want more of that whole tribe. I want to see the village burn. I want to see how she became this hatred for everything Awa.
Yep.
Like to me, that was the perfect story that they should have ran, and that's what I was being sold on. That's literally what the advertisement gave me the feel of. Like, I was fine with going to water to fire when they showed her and they showed how that tribe kind of was. I'm like, that's a perfect villain to me.
Yep.
Because she's kind of like
So she's hot?
Quaritch. She is hot, but she's got this one track mind of like, I hate Awa. I'm going to prove to you that Awa is full of shit, pretty much.
Yeah.
And she goes out and does that, and I love that. So
Yeah, I agree. I think she's the most potential for the movie, and honestly, I do think that part of that is like the marketing team should be fired because not really. I mean, they did their job getting people into seats, but like
they did a good job.
I know it is frustrating. I think that on the tail end, a lot of people leaving are gonna be more frustrated than anything because the setup is such a cool villain, and she's almost wasted. But to be fair, she probably will be back. I hope.
yeah,
That she doesn't have that end.
I feel like that hurts the franchise though, because like again, no one knew this was part two, so now people are just gonna like don't want to sit through another 3 hours that might just be part three of the Way of the War.
Yeah, I do feel like Cameron needs to come out and say like we're moving to another. Maybe there's a time jump with like a catch up, like there was in Way of Water, which isn't the best, but I'd still take that over. We start the third movie with Quaritch like flying down. But yeah, I thought Varang was awesome. Very
literally hits the ground. It's just like I have to kill Jake Sully.
I thought Varang was very like if you've ever played a Far Cry game.
So Far Cry
the drug induced trip is
He's
very Far Cry.
Right?
What's that?
Like James Cameron, he has to have played it. Like I can't believe I've not heard that from James Cameron yet. Like, oh yeah, I love the Far Cry games. That was like straight out of Far Cry. I put that in my review.
Yeah, which was that whole scene was awesome. Yeah. Him like doing his pilgrimage up the mountain and basically like making an alliance with her, and then her kind of like making him a little slave boy, little slave sex toy boy. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I thought her weapons were awesome. Her performance was great. Just everything about her was her powers with the connecting. I don't know what the things are called, but like
that's a huge new thing, right?
Connecting, like controlling, and then I think in a world where religion is dominant, a amongst almost everybody to a degree. Like this like atheistic tribe, I thought was a great idea. Even though we kind of get the total opposite, there is a part of me that's like, man, I kind of do want to doubt as an audience as well, Awa, but we kind of went full 180 on that, and
I can't anymore.
yeah, I can't anymore.
That's honestly that's almost part of the problem. It's like then that position is less interesting because it's basically we're confirming many times in this movie like AWA is not only real, but it's just straight right there. You can access her, you can look at her.
Kinda.
Like
I mean,
kinda.
but it does
Way
make me
more than
wonder,
one
like,
movie.
why. I mean, there's a lot to say about as far as like a lot of growth can come from like burning things in like the forest. Like sometimes they do like calculated burn, so regrowth can start, and maybe it is just that, or maybe it's just. It seems like Awa has direct like influence on what happens, so it's not like like a Christian God or whatever, where he's just like free will. I'm stepping back. You guys do you, and this fire happened, and that's just that's my will, but I'm not going to step in. Where it seems like she could have stepped in, or they, or whatever.
For me, that her arc's going to be now like because she connects with I forgot the Sigourney Weaver's like little person that's connected to Awa. Yeah, she connects to the fire woman, and she sees Awa when she does that. I'm 100% certain of it because they connect, and she see her when she pulls back. She's like, "Oh my god!"
Interesting.
I think now her arc's going to be, I want answers from Awa. Like, why did you let my village burn? I'm going to destroy you because you let all my people die. And that's how I feel that'll develop.
That would be a cool, quest to kill God.
Pretty much.
But here's the problem with what you're saying, Matt, is that if you watch early in the other Avatar movies, they say the exact opposite. Neytiri has lines about like, Awa does not choose sides in the Battle of Pandora. She's just a neutral. Like, so just is that she was just wrong, or is James Cameron has changed his mind? Like, really, in the first one, the only like thing that potentially happens is at the very end battle. They're all about to lose the battle, and then all the animals Pandora come to help save the day. And Neytiri says, "Awa has heard you, Jake." And but it's like, but did she? Or is this? I think at some point they also describe it as like a literal biological like reaction to the fact that your home is being like attacked, and so the animals are like kind of like evolutionarily designed to, which is a super interesting. This like, is it a deity that's forcing this? Is this just? And this one just takes all the fun out of all that. Where, it just become like, oh, let's rewind to the beginning of the movie because this is also a thing I have a challenge with. Movie opens, we get the brothers flying. I had just watched Way of Water, and so maybe because it was fresh, but I immediately was like, oh, okay, this is the spirit world. Like this is Loax. He's attached to the thing, and this is how he's like having memories with him. Cool. And the Way of Water is so good with Jake and Neytiri going back into the memory of their son who's died, and he's doing a little fishing in the hole. You get a quick glimpse of his grown up, but it's mostly him as a kid. This one, you have this great scene of flying, and then it just immediately, again, James Cameron takes this jump that I just don't love, where I think his name's like Mateum, the older brother. It's just like, hey, bro, how did I die again? What? What?
Yeah.
Like the one we just saw right at the end of the last movie, there's no self awareness, and I like that. It's just like they talk about in the first film. These are memories that you're kind of like uploading, and then it seems like almost you can go visit them, you can kind of like be in them, but that person is unaware. This one's like, nope, they're fully aware. This is just like a whole nother world by the end of this movie, right? All of them are in the home tree. You got all the characters from the first one all coming together, characters from the second one. You got the broccoli cut water kid that died that no one really cares about. He's in there. And it just feels like they're taking that spirit world to a place that is less, to me, less interesting because it's less ambiguous. It's so straightforward and but anyways, Loak. First two movies, you get narration from Jake Sully. This movie starts, who's narrating? Loak. And I was like, beautiful. Jake is gonna die, and we're passing the torch and we're moving forward. But that does not happen. It doesn't mean it had to, but I don't understand why Loak is narrating a good chunk of this movie because he just becomes not important for like the whole second half of this film. He goes off on this weird quest for Payakan, and then he's just kind of there.
That's the turning force in the battle. I wouldn't say it's for nothing.
I just think like if you're setting the tone of like this is the guy's perspective that we're going to see this whole story through, then like we should see it through that perspective. Most of the story, he's not even there. Like
Yeah.
I just
maybe
thought
3 is passing the torch. Maybe 4 will be fully from Loak kind of thing.
And it's called potentially the Tolkien Rider.
Yeah.
Which is Loak. So I do think it is the goal is to focus more on him, but it just felt like we didn't get there with this one. And then to me, the narration promised like this is Loak's story, and it just never felt like it was for me.
I don't know if I felt that. I did like the change. It was a nice change, but it's just a lot of balance. To me, it's like if we do all Jake, then like what we miss out on a lot of like the whole point of this movie is the way that they all deal with grief, the grief of the loss of the son or brother or whatnot. And it's like I feel like Jake gets to have his conversations with Neytiri, and we get to hear the way that they're dealing with it out there in the open. But like Loak doesn't really have anyone. He's kind of dealing with himself, especially because like Jake is kind of a dick to him about it, even though, I think they get past that. But that whole part is like he's kind of on his own. And so I think that makes more sense that he is with his thoughts and like he's dealing with his grief in that way, to where I think the narration works fine. I wouldn't say it's the best, but like I think either way, if you're doing it with Jake, you're missing all the Loak parts. If you're doing it with Loak, you're missing all the Jake parts.
I don't feel that way because you look at number 2, and like Jake is narrating, but the Loak's one of the best parts of the second movie.
Yeah.
Like, and he still has little side segments and his swimming with Payakan and stuff. All that's really good. But then the second one is still like Jake's story. It ends on his eyes opening. Like it's still saying by the end of the 2, like this is Jake's story. It's about his family, whatever. And it just felt like starting with Loak there. I thought we were gonna feel a shift, whether that means Jake's dying or by the end Loak stepping up as like the new leader of this family and talk about kind of legacy and son growing up, and we just never get anything with that. And I don't know, that maybe it's just me personally, but I do think him doing that narration then set the expectation up for at least something more with that. What did you guys think of like his like near suicide scene? I thought that was like very jarring. I was like, whoa, this is like nothing like we've seen here.
Unexpected. Yeah, I didn't expect them to go that kind of route with it, but I didn't mind it either because it kind of showed you how desperate he was getting. He's just like, I don't want to do anymore. Like I can't make anybody happy. Everybody I love's kind of getting pulled away and sent away. So
yeah,
what do I do here?
Dad literally was like, "It's your fault."
Yeah,
like,
do we like that? Because to me, when you watch Way of Water, that's kind of like the whole thing with Jake and his 2 sons, right? He's just like being the general to his kids. He's not being a father. He's just like giving marching orders. You follow suit, whatever. He's blaming Loak for stuff, but really, or he's blaming the oldest son, Natam, for stuff, but it's really Loak that's getting him in trouble, whatever. But it feels like by the end of the movie, yes, the son just died, but then Loak saves Jake. If you remember in the water at the end, right? Mm-hmm. Has this whole speech of the way of water is this, and to me it was implying like cool, like Jake now kind of respects him, right? Kind of like, hey, all right, I see. I think he literally gives him like the I see you. And it just feels like when this movie starts, we just go out right back to where we were before. Maybe it's because of the son dying and there's a lot to deal with, but yeah. I felt like we like kind of backtracked that when we had made some progress with that a little bit.
I think that progress is still there, but I don't think it completely won it. I think Jake is struggling with that. He clearly is struggling with it. It's like a moment of weakness where he says that to his son. He immediately regrets it. Just like he says some things in Neytiri, he immediately regrets it. I think that is his struggle. And to me, I would rather it this way, where it is like I'm going to keep making mistakes. There's not going to be one event that's just like I'm a changed man completely and I will never make a mistake again. I felt realistic, and it just got to show a different side of grief, I thought, for Loak, the like loneliness of it, and yeah, to the point where like he thought maybe it is better to just he doesn't have anybody.
Right. Except for his pal Payakan. And so I do like that. I like that they're both kind of the idea of like them both being ostracized from their clan, from their family. I like that idea. And I want to come back to the Ash clan and Varang. I have some thoughts there, but that is, to me, one of the biggest disappointments in this movie is the whole Payakan storyline with Loak and the kids. It feels so just like, oh yeah, don't forget, like they're out there doing this. Like oh yeah, like it just feels so it deserves more time. I love Pycon in the second one. He's the man, and their connection is so good. And James Cameron does take it to a new level, right? With that second one, where all of a sudden the whale is communicating with the Navi, which we've never seen an animal do. There's literally subtitles, but it's pretty like it's pretty simplistic, and it's almost done in a way where you're like, how much this is like actually straight talking versus like there's some sort of understanding here. Again, with this movie, he just takes it to a whole new level where it's like, no, we got a straight up tribal council of whales that are like giving full on speeches about stuff. And I don't hate that in concept. Love that like main matriarchal whale vibrating in the water, like really cool ideas, but just feels like such a big jump without spending enough time there that I don't know. I kind of struggle with that. The idea of like the broccoli cut kid and ex girlfriend, like they also come back with their soul brothers and sisters, and just be like, I love all that in theory, but I just don't feel it like spends enough time with it to feel satisfying. I kind of kept forgetting about that whole storyline entirely. I don't know how you guys felt about
My
it.
issue with like their side story was to just introduce these new super dangerous creatures from the depths, which I felt was kind of convenient that they existed, and there was one scene to introduce them for them to then be the heroes at the end. And
Like
to
about the
me,
squid things.
yeah, the whatever they were called, but yeah, it was just too convenient and too little. It was, hey, we need to introduce this somewhere. We'll throw in these guys out in the wild. He almost died to it. Then boom, these things save everybody. So I didn't like it as well. I was kind of weak.
I feel like that's the problem with this being a part 2 of Way of Water. Basically, is that if it feels like a part 2 of Way of Water that he wrote after Way of Water, instead of I wrote these together and I split it into 2 movies where I can plant these seeds in Way of Water and give you the payoff in Ash and Fire, Fire and Ash, or whatever. Instead, it's just like I said, it feels like these were his darlings that he killed. Like, I want this matriarchal whale, and I want these squids, and like, James, you can't put all this into this movie. He's like, oh, okay. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm doing Ash and Fire, and I'm putting them in because they're cool and they make sense for it now. But it does make a lot of the things feel convenient, to where
And
I wish I could have just he wrote them together.
And for me, the issue with the squid things as well is it's kind of does mirror on the first movie, the Turret Mark II. The thing above is always going to be the thing killing you. The thing below is the most deadly thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of mirrored it, and I'm like, nah, it's just two the same. You're not really changing up here.
Yeah. What is they're like the judge? What do they say that they're like the judgment of Awa kind of thing, like the purest judgment?
Yeah, something along that line. Yeah, there was some tagline you put on it, and then that was never
which is
mentioned
cool.
again.
Except for like, why are they trying to kill Loak then?
Yeah,
Also, which are you talking? Are you talking about the whales, the main
squids.
Tolkien
No, the squids.
council? Oh, the squids.
squid
Okay.
things.
Yeah, I totally even missed that they were. Yeah, it just with the tribal council, I'm just like, I just don't buy after the event of the second one that they're still like, nah, Pycon, he's an asshole. We don't want. It's like,
I don't think it's
like,
that. I don't think it's that
just
though.
feels.
They're
Well,
just
it's
like,
just
these
supposed to
are
be
our
the,
laws.
you have
These
the
are our
rule, you
laws.
broke the rule. Yeah, I just it's like harping when I watch the second one. It's like in theory, you like saved Pandora. So like he was a huge part of that victory, and it's just hard for me to. And now we've seen there's so many like literal connections to AWOL. It's like they can't just connect it and be like, oh, I see. His whole clan was attacked. He was just trying to. I don't know. I get what they're trying to do, but it's a harder sell for me for sure. We need more PyCon. I'm excited to hear the Tokun Rider as a name, whether that's the final name or a working title. I love a Loak Tokun experience. I think that sounds great, and wanted more from them. Yeah, I didn't talk too much about Varang and the Ash Clan yet, and it's like this is the greatest potential for this movie, and then it ends up for me being probably the biggest disappointment. And I don't even blame the marketing team. I blame Jimmy C. You're naming your movie Avatar: Fire and Ash. There ain't a lot of Fire and Ash going on in this movie. I'm sorry, there's just really not. You have a really cool raid scene, which is probably for me the best action set piece in the whole film, with the Wind Traders in the beginning. The introduction of this Ash clan, like the Morongo or whatever the heck they're called.
The Mad
That whole
Max
scene was
Witness
awesome.
Me.
Yeah. Which did not feel as satisfying. But yeah,
I thought it was awesome, and then we never saw it again.
yeah, never saw it again. I thought one of my favorite parts of that sequence was her and Neytiri fighting. I loved the visual of it. Looked like two birds fighting in the air. Like it looked real to life with the two Kron fighting, and I was like, oh, cool. I love the setup of like they're gonna have this badass showdown. I was really excited for all the potential there. The big like jellyfish slash like being guided by a floating stingrays. Like that whole thing's super cool. Loved all of that, and didn't mind I liked the showdown in the forest and this idea of they're like scalping by like cutting off the ponytail. Super cool idea. This ponytail means everything in this world, so you're literally severing like their ties to their spirituality and their
But they're also
which
dead at
makes
that
sense.
point, right? Pretty sure they're
I don't
like
know.
killing
That was
them.
a little unclear. Like,
They like
are you dead
they
when you lose your
flop.
ponytail?
Well, I don't think it's
Or
that. I
are
think
they
it's from
killing
like
them and then they're taking the ponytail?
I think they're taking it more as like a trophy. That's what it
Like
seemed like to
trophy,
me
like
because
a
they're
dead
flopping
man.
down like they're dead. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
they're passed out, but
Later in the movie, they did say like losing this is not worth living afterwards anyway. Like pretty much if you
It's
lose, it's
right.
you probably
You
kill
can't.
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah, you can. So that's a really cool idea, and I liked the idea of in the moment their way out of this is Quaritch being like, "Well, let me show you these bullets." Like you
The
just hit
thunder.
on the back of this, and yeah, the big thunder boom boom one.
Yeah.
Like I like that idea, and that's when then you escape. Quaritch deuces runs into the woods, and then we get this ascent up into the volcano, which looks so cool from the trailer. And I think where I'm the most disappointed is like I don't know. This could be just my own personal perception of like I just felt she was going to be a bigger baddie, right? Like she's the main villain. He's the henchman to her. Like he's going saying, "I need your help, and I need like you have this very insidious tribe, and you have an agenda, and I can help you with that, and I can bring my weapons, and I can be a part of this." But very quickly, like you said, like she kind of like makes him the slave boy, but then like not really after that. It's like for a second and all of a sudden it feels like she is the pet to him. Like he's the one calling the shots. And I kind of just hoped for it to be the other way around. I think Jimmy C is just like so adamant at this point of like Quaritch is the big bad. He has sort of said like I want him to be the Darth Vader of this franchise. He's said that out loud. So that is what he's doing. But I feel like it would have been more interesting to have it reverse. He's the henchman. He's dealing with his struggles with the fatherhood spider thing. You get way more of her because she kind of takes a back seat. They kind of take a back seat in that second half, and the promise of fire and ash. It's like you really just don't deliver on it. So I think that is where I'm very let down by this movie. I wanted to see more of that. The like atheistic versus AWOL, like there's such interesting stuff there, and I just feel like at some point it just becomes Quaritch in the city, and I'm like, oh yeah, and Varang's here too. Like I keep forgetting. So I don't know. I was hoping for more with that. I like the idea of him doing the paint, and at some point he comes out and he's in the Ash Clan paint is kind of a cool idea. Maybe they're saving that for the next one. I can only assume that they make another one that she swoops in on her Kron and saves Quaritch as he's falling, and they go off to have sex, and then they are like, all right, we're gonna kill Jake Sully. So maybe
Then they
becomes
capture
more.
Spider, and then
Yeah,
Jake
they
goes
get
after
Spider,
Spider, and
and then
Neytiri rescues
Dr.
him.
Ian Garvin shows up to help out in some way. I don't know, but you're slapping her on the poster. It's called Fire and Ash. Like there just wasn't enough of her, and so that's where to me it is weird. The internet's like losing their mind over this person. I'm like, I don't feel I got enough of her. I feel
I
like
think,
I
yeah,
wanted more. Like she is
Everything she
interesting.
presented was amazing. That's the thing.
yeah,
Like every time you're like, oh, something cool is going to happen here. Some fight, some like head to head. It was just
a lot of
perfect.
tension.
But
Yeah, I think she.
And even the
Yeah,
final showdown with her and Neytiri, I felt was a little whelming, and maybe part of that is supposed to be intentional of again that legacy of like Kiri steps up, like the
yeah,
daughter, like I guess, but I was hoping for more there too. I guess I don't know.
yeah. I'm hopeful we'll get it. Yeah, I think her mind is basically. I think we learn very quickly. She's like pretty nuts. Like she
Right?
Varang, yeah,
Okay,
Varang,
right.
like driven by that anger. Like I don't think she's all there. I think she's just so driven. So I do think that Quaritch sees an opportunity, and it is like we are going to use each other. And I think that he's convinced her like look, we're helping each other kind of thing. But even there are moments where I think you see, like, especially when there's like the showdown they like go to the Water Clan, and there's like basically a standoff where they capture Jake, and she is pissed. She's not happy, and it shows it that she doesn't get to kill them. She wants he basically promised her, like, hey, we're gonna go torch this clan, and then he's like, nope. He gets what he wants with Jake, and I think it shows that she's pissed. And but I do wish that at that point she starts figuring it out, like, oh, he's more using me than like working with me. But then they kind of just go to the city, and which again, I think if there's ever a moment for her to kind of be like submit to court, it's there. She doesn't understand any of their language. She's like, she's the stranger in the strange land there at that point. So I feel like it makes more sense why she becomes more submissive there until they leave. But we never see them leave. So maybe it's just that. Maybe that's just part. She's on the down part of her arc. But I agree. I mean, I think she is pushed as the main villain and could have been a cool main villain. But I think there's still the potential for her to, like Sean was saying, if we get the arc of her, like, I'm gonna kill Awa, and like I know she's real now, like, which means that she intentionally did not save my tribe. It's almost worse. Like, before she like believed it, but now she knows 100%. So I think that could be a really cool thing. I don't know how that would really. I think that's the hardest part. Is like, at that point, how are we going to include? Well, no, not that, but like, how are we going to include that in Jake and Jake's family's story, the story of Avatar? It almost feels like her own like side thing, but maybe it's her going after Kiri at this point, because that's the connection.
Because she's the main connection, but I think like they need to move away from the Jake Sully-ness of it as well. I think because he doesn't have to be the lead. Like this wasn't his movie either. I would say, because it isn't just about his family. There was so much more.
Mm-hmm. So nobody's story.
Her coming after Awa is just going to have to be her trying to kill all the clans whatever way can, like any of those like main hubs that they connect to Awa. I think that's what she'll be coming after, and it could just be Jake trying to like protect whoever he can, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and obviously his daughter, because obviously she is the main connection, who will become Awa at the end of Avatar, is what I think.
Yeah,
Little Took.
Yep. Awa.
Well, yeah, I think it all sounds super interesting. Like, we've already seen that she has a way to connect and inflict damage. So the idea of her connecting into these spirit trees and stuff and like causing chaos with Awa is super, super interesting. So yeah, maybe that's the setup, is Kiri versus her. It's kind of this like big final showdown at the end. But if that is the case, I don't leave this movie feeling that like that's where we're going with Varang. She just feels like a side piece to me by the end, which I was kind of disappointed in. What was I going to bring up? Oh, I think the lowest point of repetition not working in this movie is Taruk Maktal bringing the clans together. It's just the same thing that we already saw in the first one, and it is so ineffective because of that. It just feels so tired. I put in my review, I think, like, if you told me that some of these shots were literally pulled from the first movie, I would believe you. Like, it literally feels like, and it's so it combined with Jake's just like begrudging attitude, like, all right, I guess I gotta bring the troops back together. It's just like,
well, I think he tries to do what he can to not do that at first.
I know, but then they do it, and then it's like, oh wait, he does it, and then what do they go do? She goes down and talks to Awa and says, "Oh, we need more help. Send more animals." Oh, those squids come, save the day.
Yeah.
Like, it's exactly identical, and that was the
it's too identical. And it just feels like, if you can just rally the troops every time, why are we not just always doing this, right? Like, the first one felt like this one-off thing of like every generation of Taruk Maktal comes along, and it felt like this is like Pandora. The fate of Pandora is at stake. This is, I don't know, and this one just felt so tired.
Does it die? But it's pretty short-lived when he is riding it. Like, he gets shot down into the water pretty quick. But to me, that is, at least that's different. It's like, it works in uniting the tribes, but like, he's not this like badass that he was in the first one. He's on it. He like almost immediately gets rocked. Right. So at least there's a little, the
clans together like that.
Sure, that part is. But like I said, there's a lot of things where like when I look at the action that feels repetitive in this, with like the whales jumping on the ships and stuff like that, it's still cool. It is repetitive, but like I think I don't know. I feel like Avatar gets more crap for it than other big IPs. Like, how many times have I seen stormtroopers get shot over and over, or like lightsaber tricks to deflect bullets over and over? It's like there's a lot of repetition in these big IPs. This one feels like it gets more crap for it, and I do think a lot of that is they didn't market this as Way of Water Part 2. If I knew going in, like, this does feel like a bigger version of the final battle of 1, but it needed to be a bigger version because there are more stakes. So,
it feels way less interesting than in the first one. I think that's the problem, right?
Sure.
The first final battle feels epic in scale and stakes, and feels believable, and the way the tides are turning back and forth. And this one, maybe because it's too big, there's just too many people. But I don't know. I don't think that will be the case for me. I think even if I go into this again, watching it, like, I don't want to see Shoresby driving his Tolkien hunting boat again, just doing the same shit.
To me,
it's like
he was the weakest part.
Nothing. Yeah, you learned nothing from the first one. Like, what are you doing even differently than the last time? Nothing. It just makes no sense to me.
It's supposed to be the greed of man, and I get that, but like, I just didn't.
When you be like, I'm back this time, and now I've done this right. There's no way you're pulling what you pulled last time. He's just like, I'm going on the same fucking gun. Like, I got my arm back. Let's ride it again. It's just like, I just don't understand that. And that is another thing I think this movie struggles with is the villains. There's just so many things going on now. You got Clone Quaritch. They introduced Edie Falco in the last one. I don't even remember her name. The
like
female general.
I
the
hate
coffee
her.
cup. Right?
She's just not intimidating.
Yeah.
Something about
she just let a whole clan of avatars land on her base and done nothing about it. Like, she told them, I'll make them leave, and then she didn't. You're supposed to be this badass general.
Right.
Yeah.
You hate these people.
Which I like in concept of like Quaritch is like overstepping his role, and I think all that makes sense. But she never felt like she was badass enough to do anything. Maybe she's not supposed to be. Maybe she's supposed to. Maybe that's exactly what we're supposed to see. But yeah, she felt very underwhelming to me.
It makes Quaritch look good in the first one. People meme on Quaritch in the first one. I think he's a great villain in the first one. He's supposed to be like a caricature with these stupid ass lines that he says, "We're not in Kansas anymore, we're on Pandora." Like, he's supposed to be this like cartoonish. She just feels bland. There's just nothing to her other than the coffee cup. So you got Quaritch, you got her, you got Varang. They decide for some reason, let's bring back Giovanni Ribisi from the first movie. We really got to get him in there. He does nothing. He's just there to be like, my dad is the CEO of this company. Well, we're setting that up for the future. He's just there.
I don't think he's just there. I mean, he is, but I think what he stands for, what he stands for in the story is like they're trying to colonize and there's greed. I think that there are two warring factions on the human side as well, and they're in conflict with each other.
What is she doing? What's Edie Falco doing? Her character is already there for the greed side. They're building this massive city. They're trying to...
But she's more like trying to colonize, where he's...
Yeah, it's like, Earth is done. We have to get over here. We're going to...
Yeah, exactly. But isn't he more of like, I'm doing this for money? Like,
I don't know. He was in the first one. He was doing that unpaying stuff. That's kind of gone now. Now we have the Amarita from the Tolkiens. I don't even know if he ever talks about that.
I thought he was kind of leading that whale thing. Like, he was kind of the one, like, pushing the whale hunter guy.
I love his character. I wish we had gotten him in the second one. And you only get that very small glimpse when they're filming the video of Quaritch saying, like, oh, they took my DNA.
He's like in the background, right?
So I was even in the camp of people of like, hey, I'd be fine with them to come back. I like them. But to me, this was not it. You just cluttered up that villain catalog for nothing. Shoresby's that. There's just so many people that, like, who even feels threatening anymore. There's just too many. Like, I'm just that really dragged it down for me. I'm like, did we need Shoresby back in this one? No.
Is he the whale hunter guy?
Yeah, the slam die.
He's the only.
Is he dead? You think he's dead?
Yeah, the guy with the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got dragged down to the depths.
Everyone's joke he's saying, right? Like they hope he comes back. Just like every movie, he just does like a new piece of.
He does like a Geppetto. He lives inside the Tolkien.
I'm hoping that it's just like his whole body, right? The lungs are mechanical, and it's just his face still left in the whole thing.
He keeps going out.
Yeah, I hope he's dead. But like, who knows? Like,
I think he's dead. This felt like an actual death. How you get out of that? You're gonna drown.
The whale changes his mind.
Nah.
What do you guys think of the mutilated Tolkien?
I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
It was brutal. It was a brutal visual where you're like, I'm like, where is even the fate? Like, you can't even. It's just like
Yeah.
a pack of meat. It's awful.
Yeah, and necessary too. I feel like that's really what I think. There are multiple factors that change the council's mind. That Tolkien, and then also them seeing, like, I agree. I think the broccoli cut is not great, but I like the idea of the daughter and Loak's relationship, and them saying like, I'm willing to leave my clan to stick up for this because it's the truth and we believe in it. And I think that's an important thing for the council to see.
Right.
But
I guess
I think at the end of the day, the
George
biggest problems with the franchise is too big. Like, if I
This
think about
one's-
it in like a book form, we could really flash out a lot of those problems. We could get scenes with just. I think I think a big problem with the humans, or what's going to become a big problem for them, is them warring with each other like we normally do. Right? That is what is like doomed humanity. Is we continue to war with each other, and we're already seeing that on Pandora. Is the greed versus like necessity to for humanity to survive. Greed's already taking over that. And I think that's going to be ultimately what dooms them, is they can't just unite for a cause. And so like all of that, it sounds great on paper and in theory, but like we don't see it because there's not enough. It's already 3.5 hours. And I feel like there's still so much more I wanted to see that it almost would work better as like a drawn out TV show or like, a good one or supplementary books or something. It's got to, because there's, when we're getting what we're getting a bunch of shallow villains when in theory they could all coexist. And I think two villains fighting each other is a cool idea. It's like they're weakening each other, which can happen, right? It's humanity.
Yeah.
I think the human side is the weakness of this movie now. I think they need to get rid of the humans and run with the Fire and Ash story of her and just have Avatar on Avatar and Spider kicking around. He's the only human, I guess. But like Quaritch joins Fire and Ash, he joins their clan, and then he's still in it to try and kill Sully. That still get that story going. Get rid of the humans. They're so pointless in the story now. They've nothing more they can grow on it. There's literally nothing there. So delete them. Get us out of there.
I would.
That's where it felt.
That wouldn't bother me.
It wasn't redeemed. It felt like maybe by the end of this one, there was going to be that separation. Or in the second one, he's starting to like enjoy the Navi way a little bit. He's still kind of like, yeah, whatever, but he's like loving riding the benches because he is one. So it's like you feel connected to it. So yeah, I would have liked to see that where he's like splitting off from them entirely, right? Because they're at a point where Edie Falco's like, how many damn times have you had an opportunity to kill Jake Sully? Like, we're over. This mission's done. Like, who cares anymore? Let's just move on. So it feels like they shouldn't continue collaborating and just fully, be there with Varang, but then he's struggling with but my son's on the other side. That could be very interesting.
I think that's part of his military mind, though. It's not that easy. I don't think for him. He still has that military connection. That is his whole thing. Is he won't break through to just being a Na'vi. So like it makes sense that he's going back even when they don't want him to. Like as long as it doesn't continue. Like maybe this is the movie where that, and then next movie maybe he finally. To me, it doesn't at this point. If we didn't get the redemption here, I think it's coming in 5. I don't think we're getting the next movie. And same with Jake. If Jake didn't die in this movie, I don't think Jake dies to the end. Personally, I hope he does.
James Cameron just likes him too much.
Yeah, or just let him continue to take. I wouldn't mind it if he continued to take more of a backseat. This felt more like a full cast. And everybody had their moments. And Jake became just one of those characters. Where 2, 1 definitely feels like it's Jake's movie. 2 felt like it's Jake and Loak's movie. And this felt like it's like Jake, Loak, Kiri, Spider, Quaritch. We got quite a few POVs. So it's just becoming more of a multi-POV. Yeah, Ian Garvin. Did we ever find out, like... I thought for sure at least they'd like kill him and he'd make like a noble sacrifice. He's just sitting in that machine, like hope they
he will
find
definitely
him.
be back. Guarantee you he will be back. There's no shot.
How? They know it's him, right?
What happened with Edie Falco? Did she die? I couldn't even tell. She was like in the ship.
No, they got out. They like abandoned ship. She
did
said,
they?
Like,
but
yeah.
She said it.
No, they didn't say it. They didn't show it. But I mean, like I think we're just to believe that a military craft of that size has.
Sure.
Escape
even if you're trying to, you could get screwed. It feels like he's just leaving all those plot threads for like he can do whatever he wants to the next one. Yeah. He can choose to bring back Quaritch or not. He can choose to bring back Varang.
Nobody dies. Does that
not
anybody
really.
die?
And then here's a good example that you're not even remembering because it's just so unimportant. This one, freaking Kate Winslet's mother character from the Water Tribe. She dies, and you don't even care. It's so non-eventful.
Important part for Neytiri, though. I think it's an important part for Neytiri.
Yeah, with like the childbirth. I just feel like
why would you send her into war when she's pregnant? Like,
I'll stand by that. Like in the second one, the father says like, "You're not going." She's like, "Fuck you, I'm going." Like this is what we do. Like we fight. Like, so
she was 9 months and she was already having contractions at that point. Come on.
I just felt like she had a lame ending. Where I liked her in the second one. I felt like they were building to something with that character. She's almost more stronger character than the husband. Yeah. And I just felt like they were like, well, we got to kill a couple people. Let's just like off her and broccoli cut. And I don't know. No one of substance died. That has to be, right? The movie doesn't have to be what we want it to be. I would have been okay with Jake sacrificing himself, and this is turning a new leaf. Loak is the man of the family now, and he's going to...
He can't be the man of the family.
Why?
Because that's just not his thing. He's always been kind of off on his own. It would be weird if he's just like, no, I'm the head of the family and I'm sticking around with everyone. And me and
Loak?
Huh? Yeah, Loak. Because he's off with his what's his whale called?
Pyakon.
I feel like that's become his thing. That is his family is now Pyakon and the princess. It's not that Neytiri and them aren't his family, but like he's kind of got a newfound family. He's separate. Almost the entire series. He's separated from them. So it would feel weird if he came back and he's like, I'm the head of this family now. Like,
I think it's literally like what young men do. It's this idea of like you hit that friction of like, I want to be my own person. Like your parents aren't cool anymore, and you're like, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then people do come back as they grow up, and they're like, oh, responsibility is important. I have to now take care of my family. Like I think that would be
take care of.
Does he? What's his family like?
The whale.
Girl?
Huh? Yeah,
the princess, I think, is clearly going to be his wife.
Sure. Broccoli Cut's dead.
Broccoli
so
Cut's
it's just
dead.
them two?
No, there's another brother.
Was he there?
He was there at some point, yeah.
Yeah, he was there.
The one that like bullied him in the beginning of 2.
You think there's going to be their own separate entity? Or like live with the Water Clan?
I think it's called the Tokun Rider. I think they're gonna go off in like on a pilgrimage, personally, on like a quest, to some important quest. And I think if anyone becomes the head of the family, it will be. I mean, I think Neytiri really, but Kiri I think is gonna step up into that motherly role, which she kind of already has. That makes more sense for her character for me.
Kiri's going to be the character though, but Kiri's going to be the main character for this family in the next movie for sure.
I think so, yeah.
All on her.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell because he did this narration of Loak. To me, it was implying like he was going to be more important by the end of this. And
he is going to
be really is.
Side quest, I agree. I think he's going to be like this. You have to go off to the other side of the planet and get this magical tribe that we've never heard of to turn up to save the day at the last minute.
Yep, I think so too.
Bring the clans together.
Yeah.
Throw it back 2 times 2, a bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be funny. He does the same speech about like he's never looking up or whatever, and he's on that one, and there's just an even larger one.
Yeah, now it's sideways. Yeah, it's sideways now. We've done up, we've done down.
It's a flying squid.
Yeah. I can believe, man. James Cameron loves brutally killing animals, and there's so many sad moments of like the squid thing carrying the hot air balloon. It's like that's a slow death that it has, and it's basically like doing his tentacles, like screaming, knowing it's gonna go down and burn. It's like, geez.
He thought he was gonna go. I thought he was gonna go save it when he was running up the ropes. I'm not. He's gonna cut it free. Oh, not let it die.
Yep.
Okay.
Loax. I don't know the names of the flying things. What are those things called?
The Krons.
Yeah, Loax thing dies, which is huge. I mean, that's a big. I also think it makes sense for his arc, right? He's no longer able to ride one of those because, right? Isn't it once you lose, you have one connection with him?
I feel like by this third one, he has kind of showed like that's not real. Like you only bond with one. But I think it's like you can still hook up with one and fly. Is what I feel like has happened in this one, but maybe I'm wrong.
It never happened. Not one person rides a different one.
I'm pretty sure Tyrese has died before. In the first 2.
I don't think so.
No, I think in the first one it dies at the end. She crashes in the forest.
Yeah, and then he starts fighting Korok.
And she ends up like on the like panther. I'm pretty sure hers dies. I think it's like neck is on the tree, and she's like, oh, maybe not. Maybe it survives.
We'll have to
she
look,
did,
because
she
I
did.
thought I was under the impression that you can never make another bond, and that's why the thing with Jake is so like crazy when he bonds with the big one, because like you can't.
Yeah.
That's like you can't do that, and even like I think Neytiri or who's maybe it's Jake, I think. Once the big boy goes down, he doesn't even attach to another icon. He goes on one of the water things. It's like flapping after Quaritch at the end.
Because Jake had one before that, right? He had his own Ikran. He flew it all the time. Like he did a whole bonding ceremony with another one.
Yeah, with another
and
one.
I think after Sirius Mactel in the first one, he then goes back to that one. I think, right? Because in
I
part
think
two,
he is the exception because of the big boy. Like that's why it's such a big deal. I thought
Different species, essentially. I think like Turret Mark II is its own species in itself, and then the little ones are mini ones.
So,
yeah.
I'm looking on Google. Yes,
Yeah.
Neytiri's first Ikran, Seze, died in the first Avatar movie, shot down by Lionel Wainfleet Gutstrom during the final battle. But she bonds with the new one, Saata, in Avatar Way of Water, as Navi can bond with multiple Ikrans throughout their lives. But I do agree that in the first movie, that is the way he sets it up. And then he's kind of like.
I think in the
feels
game
like a
too.
Skywalker
Maybe that's why I
back a
have it.
little bit.
Because in the game, I think they say that, but maybe it is just like a.
I think one at a time.
Huh? Yeah, I meant one at a time or something, but I kind of wish it was like, because that to me sets up Loax, like he kind of go, his Icon dies in that merchant's battle, which is also brutal. A lot of deaths, and then now he's gonna just kind of go the way of water permanently, kind of thing. Like that's his path. But then Kiri's dies is brutal. Like dies, and she can't even be there for its death. They have to run, and it's just like dying, and it's sad. Like there's a lot of animal deaths that were sad, and this one and Way of Water, the whale hunting part was sad. I think those are the most emotional parts for me, are the animals dying. It's just like, Jesus, like kill a person, like for the love of God.
Definitely, he's intentionally doing it right for that kind of environmental message. Like that's Way of Water.
It's also realistic. It's war, like.
Whale hunting sequence in part two. Like you live through every little piece of it, and it makes you feel like the little calf like being sad by like the dead mother's eye like rolled up his head. Like it's brutal. And then you get to see it again in this one.
It's way shorter though. At the very least, it is way shorter.
Thing and the floats and it was definitely shorter.
To me, like if you're gonna introduce it, it is a thing they do. It's not like they're like, oh, it didn't work, phase 3. Like, we're just going to go into a new thing. We're going to introduce a new thing every movie. It's a military. That's what they do.
Which started to feel so grand in 2 that they wouldn't just like be like, well, let's just keep doing it exactly the same. It just felt like that was such a big moment for them of like, oh shit, these whales are fighting back now. This thing is
but I think they do say something like it's been X amount of time. And they're gone basically at this point. Like I think it's been like 5 months or 6 months or something. They've been able to track them that they're now no longer aggressive or whatever. They know that they're not aggressive.
Well, they're back for the like ceremony too, right? Like the birthing of the calves or something.
Yeah, they know that. Yeah, exactly. Because it's only Pyakon that attacks the ship in 2.
In the 2, yeah.
Yeah, so they still are under the impression that this species they know will not attack them. It's just the one stray. Except for the one.
They know it's still out there. Yeah.
But they've continued to hunt and to no consequence. So it's not like I don't know. It's like on paper, it makes sense why they're still doing it, because there haven't been any consequences for X amount of time afterwards. There was the one incident, and since then there hasn't been any, and they've proven that it's not like they haven't done it. And they're like, we don't really know anymore. It's like, we've done it, and they continue to not fight back, so we're going to keep doing it.
I guess it's more in the longest Avatar movie yet. Do I need seeing them hunt the whale again? No. Just do the birthing of the calves thing. Just be like, hey, we've continued doing this. We're showing up for this. So, like, we don't need to see that again. When, as we've all said, there's so many other things we wanted more of. Like, spend more time on these other things. So,
but how would you feel if 3 hours into the movie that whaling guy showed back up for the first time? Probably more jarring.
Cut him out. Like he just shouldn't be in it. Like he just
I know,
doesn't.
But he is the lead of that thing. You know what I mean? Like if they're doing the birth the birthing ceremony, they probably would put him in charge of it if he wanted to be. So like it makes sense, but to me it'd be more jarring if we didn't at least see his little introduction to like I'm back. He's just like I'm here for the finale. Just the finale.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it is one. It's just it's just tough. I feel like the biggest new thing for the big, if we're looking at the big fighting stuff, was one, the squids, but two, the like, what's the vortex? It's cool, but what the hell is it?
Well, can we talk about how, like, in the first movie, the magnetic field was their problem, and they still flew into it. Now there's a vortex they don't give a shit about, and they still fly near it, and they still lose to it. Like, these people flew billions of light years to this planet, developed all this stuff, and they can't figure out that a magnetic field vortex is a problem.
Humans are
Like,
stupid.
I clearly, it really annoyed me, that part. Like, oh, the vortex there, we're going to fly near it, but don't go in it. We won't end up in there. Of course, you're going to end up with a ship in it. And get ripped.
There was a part of me that wanted the lady to just be like, I thought we were going to get in a Titanic. Like, I'm just going down with the ship. Like, and I would have been okay with that. Like, there is no escape.
She's going to be in the cockpit and we're going to see her like die, but they left that open. The Way of Water like sets up this idea of like the eclipse, and even in Way of Water, it's a little like unclear. It seems like it's a daily occurrence. This never happened in the first movie at all, which like whatever, fine. It probably did. It just wasn't important. They never
It's a
showed
different
it.
area of the planet.
Yeah.
Eclipse
It would be the whole planet, all right. Like it would be.
Well, does it? No, because when you see eclipse, you have to go to certain places, like even our country.
Yeah, I guess that's
You
fair.
guys can see it. I wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
That's true, but they're always changing, right? So it's like I don't know if it would always happen on the water side of the planet versus, but whatever, it doesn't matter. That doesn't bother me. Just when they introduced it in the second one, it was just like very like loose, and then this felt like a continuation of that, but still unclear. And I was like, what is this vortex thing? It looked cool visually. I'm like fighting on the floating rocks, but I will say that's the part I remember. My eyes were glazing over a little bit, which is disappointing for me because like I love these movies, and that was the point where I was just kind of like not feeling the weight of all of these battles and stuff. I was just kind of like, it just feels like too much. I'm not invested like I have been in the other final battles. There's just like too much going on. I just felt like about it. Like when Spider shows up and the three of them, I'm kind of like, I'm game for whatever happens here. I don't really
like 10 minutes loading a crossbow.
Yeah. What else haven't we talked about?
I mean, at the AWA reveal.
Yes, the AWA
And then
reveal.
before I forget, we got to talk about Kiri and Spider. The low point of the movie for me.
So remind me on the AWA thing, like when's the first time? Because there's a couple of little segments of like Kiri trying to get to her and the whole just like trying to get through the forest. When did she first start that? I don't remember what the inciting.
So she plugs in underwater and she tries to just talk to Awa, and Awa keeps pushing her away, and then he keeps saying,
the spirit tree?
Yeah, the underwater one as well. Like
I thought it was anytime she connects, because I thought it was when she was trying to save Spider was the first time we saw her trying to. She's trying to. I thought she was.
I think there's an early one where she's just like underwater and tries to connect, and she disconnects pretty quick, and you're kind of like, why is she doing that? And then she kind of explains, like, I'm getting pushed away. Why won't Awa talk to me again?
I see.
Then when she does the Spider one, that's when the big one happens. And then I think they do like one more in between, and then also the big ones where Spider comes in and they
come on, let's go.
That's right.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah. And tooth joints too, right?
Yeah. Which, honestly, I like the tooth. I like the tooth joint. At least hers is like, she's cute, but like, it's the
Spider.
It's the fucking monkey boy. Like in that moment, really, you're gonna be like, monkey boy. His reaction is like, let's go. Like, it's like such an intense moment. Come on, let's go.
He would be so delusional, unknown what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd be like, oh my god, what is this? Not like, oh, I'll grab you. We're going to walk towards that thing that's blowing me away.
I agree. Like, I don't mind tooth joints. More just the idea of how easy this whole thing is. I'm just like, I just connect in, and like, you just like, as long as 3 you do it, you get the AWOC. Like, there's like a possible feat.
I mean, I don't think it's like, that. Obviously, she's got a very special connection to AWA. It's not like anyone, as long as there's 3 of them, they can do it. Yeah, I think it's their
the power family. Like.
And Spider is like a pretty unique specimen at this point. He's like also got a connection to AWA. Just I think Kiri, I don't know. That's the family connection, I guess.
Took or Kiri?
Took. Wait, who?
Took. You said Kiri. You mean Took?
Took, yeah.
Yeah, Took.
Um,
No Took.
I want to
Maybe Took
know.
will be the main character in the next one.
I think Took's super cute. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, she's a cute little addition. But what? So why is? Do we get the answer? Maybe I'm just forgetting. Why is Awa pushing Kiri away? That's her question too, right? We don't know.
Yeah, that's her question. That's what she's trying to establish, but she never gets that answer. Other than if you have two friends with you, I'll not push you away.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Kind of. It's just anyway.
Fast and the Furious in 13. She just needs
Family.
family.
But yeah,
It's Took, and then Vin Diesel shows up behind. His family.
Anyone is Took one, or is Vin Diesel, and turns all the way around. Just Vin Diesel. He says, "I am Groot."
Yeah.
Cut the credits. That's the end of the
I'm on board.
I don't know if my guess potentially is like maybe the reason Kiri's being pushed away is she's gonna get more answers of how she came to be. Maybe like it could just be AWOL was just like immaculate conception, boom. But I'm wondering if there could maybe something with Varang. Maybe when Varang was trying to connect or something. I don't know, but that's my only theory is that she's gonna get some kind of answers of how she came to be, or maybe what her purpose is. Which honestly, this is trending very Jesus-y. So like, could be like she is the sacrifice to like save Pandora or something, and so she doesn't want to reveal that to her yet, or that's obviously just hard to understand. I don't know, but that's what I feel like it's going towards a little bit. She still is one of the more interesting characters, Kiri, I think for sure. It's you want to know more about that.
I still don't
Why
like
did
the voice.
Awa? Yeah.
What?
Kiri's voice bugs me. It just does. Takes me out of it every single time I see her. She talks. I'm like, it's Sigourney Weaver, and I know she's Sigourney. I get it, but like, just cast somebody younger that sounds like Sigourney Weaver. That's not hard to do. It's not hard to do.
I don't mind as much. I kind of keyed on something people are saying. The part where they really notice it is it's like whenever she raises her voice, it's like you can't hide the like modulation enough where it does sound like an older person. But I kind of forget about it. I really do. I don't know why. It has just worked for me. I just kind of forget.
I saw a post that was funny. It was something like, "What an incredible performance where like a 70-year-old completely camouflages themselves and makes themselves sound 50." It's like, yep, that's exactly what it's like to me. Yeah, I just cannot hear it. To me, it's just like he made a choice to do it, and I don't understand the point.
I do. I mean, I understand the point. I think that you can argue the execution doesn't work. But I think the point is very clear. This is a unique being that is literally born of this person's avatar, which was something that was genetically made from their original body, and also combined with Awa. We think.
Sure,
so I get that, like genetically, there's going to be almost like half of Dr. Grace Augustine in there.
Yeah, but
so I get the voice is going to have kind of
like
part of that in there. It doesn't sound just like her. It's like a mix. It's like a hybrid where I just think if it'd be different if we sat down James Cameron, which maybe in about 15 minutes we may be. If that happens, he may tell us that. As long as I feel like he behind the scenes, the way that it's portrayed in the movie is exactly how he wanted it. So it doesn't mean it's good, but I'm okay with that. If he's like, I want it to sound like this because to me it makes sense. It's this weird hybrid and it's born of then at least I'm okay with the idea. If he's just like, I just want her to sound like a new character, but I love Sigourney, I just want to give her a role, then I think it's super lame. But I feel like it's the former where it is very intentional. It still might not work for someone. But I feel like
it's intentional, but like
idea behind it.
That's like saying I don't sound like my dad. Maybe a little bit,
different.
But like
you were literally born from a human, like a natural birth. I think this isn't that. This is like a unique that literally God Awa has like poofed someone into existence through this unnatural thing that is kind of still tied into someone genetically. Like I can kind of buy it. She literally like the last we saw of Grace Augustine was her maybe joining in with this avatar, and we don't ever really still know what happened. It seems like it kind of failed, and she's clearly in the spirit world because she's hanging out with everybody at the end in Home Tree,
So what's she
touching
got?
everybody.
Yeah,
touching the
what,
spider.
Yeah.
God, yeah, we gotta talk about that. But like to me, it's like she's clearly growing, right? She wasn't like
She's like a
she didn't.
teenager, I think,
Yeah, she didn't
right?
poof at this age. She was.
Oh no, yeah, she still was birthed from
Yeah.
the
From the baby.
Avatar.
Yeah, so what's she gonna
Is it
sound like when
outside
she's
the
like
Avatar?
60? To me, it's like she already
Exactly.
sounds like she's that old. So what's it just
Not yet to
doesn't sound
60.
like a natural evolution of a voice. I think that's the problem for me. And like maybe it's supposed to be
Yeah.
different, but it's just
I
like
don't think
why
it
didn't
is
she
that.
sound like a teenager? If she sounded like teenager Sigourney Weaver, I'd be like, cool.
Well, I think it's like, but I think it to me it kind of does somewhat. They're like modulating it down sometimes to have that like higher pitched teen sound, but you obviously hear Sigourney's acting, like it is Sigourney Weaver doing it.
Yeah.
So you get this weird blending. But if you took that and took Sigourney talking in the first movie, they don't sound exactly the same.
Not
The Curie one is
exactly, but
definitely
to me, like, yeah, I guess it's just noticeable in a bad way for me. It does.
Yeah.
Every time she talks, it throws me. It doesn't throw me. It's just
Definitely
noticeable.
does.
I'm like, yeah.
definitely a choice that
Yeah.
doesn't always work perfectly for me, but I liked it more in the second one. This one, the worst is the monkey boy. Like it's just too many
Jesus
monkey boys.
Christ, yeah.
Stop it with that.
Yeah, I just don't like
stupid.
their. I don't really like their. I guess I don't hate the idea of their relationship, but like, yeah, maybe it is just the monkey boy. It's like you can have a pet name, but for the love of God, it's every time she addresses him throughout the entire movie. There's at least 10 monkey boys, at least, and I think that's being like that's a conservative number. Yeah,
I don't mind the kiss. I just don't love it. Like I would be more okay with their relationship feeling like very strong brother sister.
I'd say, aren't
Then,
they
like,
kind of like brother sister?
Yes.
Brother-in-law.
Huh?
Yeah, they were brother-in-law.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
brother-in-law.
in-law. Yeah. Stepbrother.
So,
Yeah.
I thought they sold it well in number two. That like they care deeply for each other. Like
Yeah.
I buy that in Way of Water. I don't ever buy it romantically. I just buy that like they both really care about each other, like on a deep level. So the kiss was fine. I don't really care.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I
Love
like
that
how
they
much.
had to out and say that they had a age appropriate person kiss
I
with
did say that.
Sigourney and an age. I was like, okay, you didn't have to say that. We assumed.
Yeah,
That would be a little weird. That would be a little weird.
Yeah.
For sure. But outside of whether it works or not, it is really cool that Sigourney Weaver is getting to do this, right? This is not, I don't know that this has ever been done in this way, right? Where like someone that old is getting to like not only just play a younger person, people have done that, but you're playing this younger character that is linked to your old character. Like it is interesting. I think it's a cool idea. It probably is just James Cameron really likes Sigourney Weaver and wants to keep working with her. And unfortunately, because you can't freaking resist, did you guys notice the like? Actually, probably not everyone because you hate it, but like the aliens reference in this one. Got that? Sigourney says, "What does she say in the aliens?" She says like, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
Yeah,
She
yeah.
says to the
There's
queen.
like a queen
And
reference.
she
Yeah.
says that to Varang at the end. She like drops the bitch line, and it's like absolutely a callback. Just like we just all need that. So that feels to me like James Cameron just like loving Sigourney and just like carrying
And
forth the
loving
legacy.
himself.
I love him. So 100%. He doesn't even deny it though. He
Yeah.
wears it on his sleeve.
I do
So,
think like, and I
yeah.
told you this, like, to me, if you love Aliens, I don't love Aliens, and maybe it's because I watched the extended cut and it was a mess, and I also don't love Terminator. I feel like I'm very, very mixed on James Cameron, but like, if you are okay with Aliens dialogue, which seems like everyone is, especially Bill Paxton's character, if you're okay with that and you love it, then you can't say anything about you can't dunk on the dialogue in Avatar. It's just as bad. Yes, but it is very consistent with what James Cameron's done in Terminator 2. Like, he's not good at dialogue. He's never been good at dialogue. And so why does Aliens get a pass when Avatar doesn't? Because, like, it's become a meme, like the game over, man, game over. But, like, and sure, like, maybe it's like a military thing I could maybe see someone actually doing. But I don't think so. It's very characterized, like you said. And, like, so why does one get a pass and one doesn't?
Yeah, this to me feels the worst of the Avatar movies with the writing. It is brutal, and even in the first two, that's what keeps these movies from being higher ratings for me. I've never gone above a 4 on the first two. I love them. I've seen the first one probably 20 times, but the writing will always hold it back because it's just so. like God, Michelle Rodriguez in the first one. Obviously, that's not I can't say her in general, but like it is brutal. Like we were just rewatching it, and there's some line where they're like recapping what the human military did or something. And she's like, "Freaking daisy cutters" or something like. It's just like brutal. It's just
I
brutal.
can't wait to
And
see
this
the
one,
movie.
yeah, she is AWA actually. Trudy was AWA the whole time. This to me feels the worst with like it was hard to stomach a little bit in the second one. All the bros between the family.
I don't mind the bros
There's so
actually.
many bros. There's too many. Like I'm okay with them existing. There's too many. And like who's teaching them this? Not Jake Sully. He's a military guy. He's not
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not teaching his young son to bro. Is the science nerds teaching them this? Probably not. So like whatever. That's like
But
nitpicky.
it's not in like a that. It's like it's in a brotherly way. It's not like in like a
No, but
you're
it's
my
like, where does
bro.
that language come from? Half of them
Sure,
are
yeah.
living with Bobby, half are, like I just don't. It just feels like James Cameron being like, "What do the kids say?" like, what? So it's just hard for me to. And
So
this
you're
one,
saying
is,
it's going to be a 6-7 reference in the next
Yeah.
movie?
we're probably gonna get one in the next one. That's the final scene of the last one. Is they finally get to AWA, and Kiri's like, "I need to understand," and it just goes slowly. Got the credit. That's Jason announcing Avatar 6 and 7. That's and then credits come up with Colonel Quaritch will return. Avatar 6. Speaking of endings and credits, I didn't know what the pop song was going to be. What do you guys think of the pop credits song?
Left.
I don't remember. I left. I needed
Yeah.
to go to the toilet. I'd be sitting for
Maybe
3.5 hours.
I know. I reckon. I was like,
it
is this Miley Cyrus? But then that was about it.
was definitely Miley. Yep.
Yep.
One, I think Sean, you probably could. I feel like you remember the name before. The first one, it was a UK artist, and the song is "I See You," and it was not big over here, but I feel like I remember you telling me it was like it kind of did well over there on the radio a little bit.
Yeah, it blew up a little bit when it first came out, but then
Kind of like an
vanished.
Ellie Goulding type, but
Yeah,
not
I
her.
it might be Ellie Goulding.
And it wasn't her for sure, but it's like that type of singer.
Yeah.
And it was not successful over here at all. He was trying to make another Celine Dion, "My Heart Will Go On." And then the second one is The Weekend. And the song, to me, does not fit for Way of Water, but the credits for Way of Water are so good. It's mostly just like Tolkien jumping at sunsets, and it's gorgeous. This one was pretty forgettable, I feel like. Both the song and the visuals, I was just kind of like,
I don't even.
Ready
Yeah,
to
I
go.
don't think I saw the visuals. I think
Leona
I was
Lewis.
missed.
Down Lewis, yep. And you said it was like kind of over there, like a little
It was
bit.
in the charts, I think, for a little bit, but nothing like it didn't last long. A couple weeks.
Yeah,
And then
over here is not. I've not met one person that even knows what I'm talking about when I mentioned that song.
It's
That
just
one
a
at
weird
least like
thing that's just a thing. Like the fact that at this point in time, though, that like they're like we got to get a great end credit song.
I think it's just James Cameron being stubborn. I'm pretty sure the story for Titanic was he was very against "My Heart Will Go On," and they were like pushing it. And then obviously that was huge.
Yeah.
That was like a huge part of the success of that movie. So I genuinely feel next movie he makes his Avatar. He's like, we're going to do the same thing. Now I want to replicate that. And he did the same thing where he tied the song into the musical riffs like through the movie with the ICU, was like with the score, and it was not there. And I feel like he was just like, okay, but this time we got the Weekend. This one's gonna work. Then yeah, Miley, like it's just like what? So very odd choice. I did not very much like it, but it did do a nice. I stayed for most of the credits, and I did do the like in loving memory of John Landau, which I thought was nice. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else. That was the credits.
I think we covered most everything. I mean, like we didn't. I guess we didn't. If we want to talk about Spider, we talked a little bit about Spider, but
the ending. Oh, about like the
the actual ending. Yeah,
welcomed into the family and the spirit world.
I hated it. I gotta say, it just visually looked terrible too. And maybe that is just like seeing so many humans after, but no, because we saw group shots of army people, and that wasn't like, but. It was like some kind of filter. It's supposed to be in like that spirit world or whatever, and like
yellowy, kind of like
awful.
Yeah,
and then the zoom out looked terrible too, and like just a bad ending.
Yeah, So as it was getting close, and even before this movie, I was like, "How is this one going to end?" He did the first one of the best endings of all time, I think. I love the eyes opening. It's right with the beat of the drums, cuts to the title card, Avatar. Great ending. The first one, all timer. Second one, you get the like more sentimental. They're going to the spirit world. They see the memory of their son, and then it's showing all of them kind of hooked in and happy. And you get the slow. You start coming around to Jake's face, the same thing. And I remember being like, "No, are they gonna do? Is he gonna do it again?" And then, yep, sure enough, opens on his eyes, and I was like, "Is he gonna do this for 3 more movies? There's no way. You can't just keep doing Jake's eyes opening." So, like I said, this one started. I'm like, "Oh, we're getting Loak at the end. Cool. I can rock with that." And then, yeah, not even close. We get the home tree hands. You're part of the family to this like zoom out of the neural network, and
Yeah.
it looks like the I can't. Well, I can't remember if you saw it, Sean. Oppenheimer.
I saw Oppenheimer.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it if you had, but like to me, it looked like the Oppenheimer final shot of this like kind of like the nuke kind of spreading across the world. It reminded
Yeah.
me. It felt like a copy of that. It felt not identical, but it felt way too similar for a movie that just came out 2 years ago. Like, thought that was
It
just
looked
kind
like
of
it almost looked like Earth to me, from what I remember. It almost looked like a planet.
could be. That's some of the rumors is that
And how big is the planet? Like it looks like it's ginormous. Why do the humans not just go to the other side of the Earth? That planet. There's got to be the gold goop over there and the animanium thing they were trying to mine in the
Yeah.
first movie. Like just
they
go
just
around the other side.
completely abandoned the unobtainium thing, right? They're just like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And
Navi, the
Rita,
Navi don't have Facebook. They can't message the clan in the backside and say, "Hey, humans are coming." Like
Yeah.
just
even Amrita, they're kind of sleeping on right now in this one. This is literally something they're saying Amrita, the gold
Oh.
liquid found in the Tokuns. It's like they imply in the second one, this like stops human aging.
Yeah.
That's huge. And it's like this one, they like kind of move on a little bit from that. Like this should be huge for humans trying to come here, but like this will have them live forever. Like
I mean, they
why are all
to me they are though. They are going after it. That's why Giovanni or whatever doesn't want to. Yeah, to me, if we want to talk about not retreading similar ground, like I don't need that conversation again. We know what it does.
so we're adding in the side quest of we can breathe on this planet. It'll be very easy to colonize it and get all the
right.
gold goop.
They do, yeah. So I mean, the rumors have been for a while that number 5 will be a return to Earth in some form, which is interesting. So is that where this goes? Where it's almost like a swap, where humans do successfully take over Pandora, but the Navi go to Earth and like save Earth, right? Like we've killed our mother there. There's no green anymore. Does Kiri lead this new wave where like they take Earth back and make it their new planet? Could
Sounds
be
great on
interesting.
paper to me, but like visually seeing like the Navi on Earth is nothing could make me less excited. Like I want to see Pandora. I want to see
Like the
Pandora.
Blade Runner cities, and you have like the Kron like flying through.
They
But
have to wear masks as well. Are they going to invent their own masks to take to Earth because they can't breathe oxygen? So
yeah, I love Pandora so much. It's such a character in itself that I would hate to lose that and replace it with Earth.
Yeah.
Navi can't breathe Earth air.
No, because like when Korix and they can breathe it for longer, but they have to put the mask on every now and then.
It's like almost like an inhaler, right? They like take like a puff of the inhaler.
They have to take something when they're in.
So when Navi is in the ships or in the okay, and the same with when the kids go into the little scientist trailers and stuff, they do have to still take hits every once in a while. I couldn't remember. Yeah, so I guess you're right. They'd have to do masks, but I mean, there's something interesting in there. I'm not saying that's where I want it to go.
No, I like the idea of, conceptually of like, yeah, them basically turning Earth into a new Pandora, and like I'm sure, like you could see it start, the forest start to, bloom and all that. It's cool. It is cool conceptually, the swap of and all that. But like, yeah, to me, Pandora is just such an exciting part of getting to see. When we talk about the best parts of this movie, it was like I love the merchant. Every time we get new Pandora stuff, I'm like, oh, it's awesome! Like every time, even though the squids felt convenient, they were cool. They were really cool.
Yeah. They were cool. It felt repetitive. Even like the whole idea of like the kids hide within the coral and it's trying to get to it just felt like right out of Whale Waters. Like we just saw the same thing, but they are cool. They are very like
Yeah, sure.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like pecking people's the glass on the ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Which again we just saw the last one, but
I
it is
know,
cool.
I know. But when you think about like what's just like what could be is a reality on Pandora, there probably is more than one predator, and I'm okay with that. But like I said, I think the biggest disconnect is that it feels like they should have been written together, and it doesn't seem like they were to me. Seems like he wrote
I
Way
think
of
they were
Water.
written together. I think
It's just
they
crazy
even
to
like
me. It's
filmed
hard to
those two
believe.
at once. Yeah, I think he just felt like at some points just being like, "Oh, I can't fit all this into one," and then maybe wrote some stuff further out.
You don't
like
think he wrote
expanded.
Way of Water, then wrote Fire and Ash, and then filmed them back to back? Because to me, I think what would have benefited this is he wrote a script this long and then needed to split it, which I don't think happened. It's to me, it feels like he wrote this script, then he wrote this script, and he filmed them back to back instead of writing one big script and actually placing, like, those squids could have been placed. Even if they just mention them, like we haven't seen them and whatever, there's this creature, whatever, in 2. They don't even mention it. So it does when those things come up and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's this other creature and it's also going to save the day. It's just like, what? You didn't even talk about that in 2 when the whole movie is centralized around the water? Like, even if they don't show up, they know of this creature, the water tribes. And so I think that's the problem, is that there's no setup. There's just like payoff.
Yeah.
But payoff doesn't feel good when there's no setup.
Right. It's a little bit like retconning some stuff, which you did with. So yeah, but I don't know. I'd be curious how the order in which he wrote it and stuff. If anything makes me feel good about the Earth thing not happening, when they built the world of Pandora at Animal Kingdom, supposedly John Landau and James Cameron, had many discussions with them and basically said like we're setting this land timeline wise after all the movies finish. This will be like after, so that there's no conflict. We already know where things are going to end up, and so the story of I think it's called the Valley of Mara in Animal Kingdom, which is kind of like a different section of the Floating Mountains that's like not featured in the first movie. You have like remnants of the RDA, the like human company. There's like mech suits left behind, and like their military base stuff has been like reclaimed by the forest and stuff. So at least if they stick with that, in theory, the humans do not take over Pandora. But I can see James Cameron changing stuff. Yeah, maybe they just take them out.
In a world where there's aliens exist and there's other planets, like we're not. I mean, it's very human to be like we're the center of attention all the time, but like maybe it's we're so greedy and there's no redeeming quality of like humans in Avatar, at least. So
it's like if there is in the first one, it is Jake Sully, but they basically end cap by saying, "But I am no longer a human."
Yeah, he's giving up. His good qualities have transitioned, and like he's given up all the bad. Yeah, it could be interesting.
Yeah.
But, if we got a little more time, I'd love to talk about Natari. What's her name?
Natari.
Natari.
Let's talk about Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Someone to get her as well.
Yeah.
So we can have
I think you were the one telling me that James Cameron had said that this was kind of like supposed to be more of a return to form for Neytiri of being like a badass. And
badass again. Like the second one, she was just kind of like grieving mother.
She's a grieving mother in this one, I would say.
Yeah. Like protective mother, I guess, in the first one. Like everything is all about just her motherly instincts and like protecting the family.
Yeah.
In the second one.
How do we feel about Neytiri? Because I think we get a really specific look into her grief and then her overcoming that. To a degree. I don't think, obviously, you're never going to get past the death of your child, but for her, like, going deep into her worship at every eclipse, her getting injured and, essentially going through a training montage. So, actually, one thing that...
training montage? I don't remember
she's
that.
like, it's not a montage, just constantly she's, like, re-strengthening her arm, which I think the bow, I think that's a great Loak moment of, like, they find the bow... I kind of didn't realize exactly what it was at first, because everything's
like,
happening
Rogue
fast in the
Leader,
beginning.
in the way I want her.
They're like diving and finding guns and stuff, and Loak finds the bow, and Jake is like, we're gonna hide this, do not show it to your mother.
Yeah.
And then he repairs it, and he with the help of his girlfriend or whatever. And I think that's a really nice gift and a really pivotal moment for Neytiri of like, it's not, it is sad that you've lost your son, but like you've got other children too that care about you and need you. So I thought that was a good moment for her. And I really liked her arc in this story of just her dealing with, it all kind of came to a head with her grief and her dealing with Spider and her overcoming that, seeing what she could become if she continued down that path of anger. With anger in your heart, baby, or whatever he says when Jake calls her baby.
Yeah.
Can't live like this with this anger, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that scene. Didn't work for me super well. And I like Neytiri. She's one of the stronger characters in the franchise, but her kind of like scream yelling is starting to wear a little thin, and that sequence felt like it of like vocalizing the grief in a way that she's just done that. Like, so I'm not anti. I was kind of like, all right, whatever. Like,
I thought it felt so
that
on brand
scene
for her
didn't work.
and real.
But I agree. I like her arc overall. The bow was the one that her father gave her in the first one after he was killed, so it's important. Bow, whatever.
Symbolic.
Symbolic.
Symbolic, yeah.
Even symbolic. Or even more so. Again, like I don't know. I guess not hoping, but was like thinking Jake Sully might be exiting, and like maybe she's taking that too. Like we need to go back to the people, and we need to, we were that was the whole like literally Wave Wire ends with Jake saying like no more running, because that's like the whole theme of 2 is like they run away from their problems and the problems still find them, and 2 ends with we're not no more running. So I thought like maybe like she's got the bow back, Jake's gone, Loak stepping up. They're gonna go back with their people or something. That's kind of
it'd be such an uninteresting arc for her. For me, that's the one part of Jake dying that I don't like. Is like I do think Neytiri would go back into grieving again. It's like we've seen that.
Maybe
I think she would. She loves Jake. She loves Jake.
She does, but she loves her people more. Like that's what I like about her. Is
but she still would grieve though. It's not like
she would.
It's her husband and the father of her children, and like the person
that.
What's that?
Sorry, I was saying he challenges her on that in the movie. He said, "Yeah, you love your Na'vi people, but I'm human."
Yeah, it's a really interesting. I think it's an interesting, conflict. And I was seeing somebody say that like throughout, and this is probably just one of those like fan theories that kind of sounds right. Is like, well, why? It's mostly just I think the technology got better, but they're like, why does Neytiri and everyone look more like human as time goes on? And they're like, well, you're seeing the world through Jake's eyes, and like as they, as he's seeing them as more human, like the human qualities in them. Like that's cool. It's probably not real, but like it's a cool way to look at it.
It's probably like the technology's getting better.
Yeah, exactly. It's mostly just the technology.
It's like Toy Story 3 versus 1, and they're like way more defined. Like it's way better than the first one. The plastic looks more plasticky.
Mm-hmm.
But that is true. I could see that. But I don't know. I thought it felt like a better blend of her this one than 2. 2, she takes like kind of a back seat. So it was good to see her more action scenes. And
her going to the city, I thought was awesome. Disguising herself as like an Ash tribe. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. I think the final battle was not great for me in terms of feeling again the repetition. Like we're gonna hide up in the mountains again, and when the ships come under us, we're gonna dive down. Like it just feels like no one's learning anything. And so even like, what's that? They're stupid, yeah. Like even like Neytiri, like how many times can Neytiri come down and launch an arrow through the cockpit of a ship? Like we're like at that breaking point where like we've got to switch it up a little bit, and that's where maybe just Na'vi versus Na'vi is going to be that more interesting.
I think for the sake of entertainment. I think for the sake of reality and like warfare, like
sure,
it all makes sense. They would do that. It's their tactics, and like armies do fall for the same shit over and over again. And like, again, like I think in reality, and like, he's trying to create this real world with this real war, and I think that's fine. But yeah, for the sake of entertainment, like maybe we need it a little bit different. That's why I thought the witness me basically point with Varang when she like I was like, no, you know, do you remember, Sean? It's
Yeah.
it's the merchant balloons, and it's the first introduction to Varang and the Ash Tribe, and
Yeah.
he's sitting
Yeah.
over it, and he like pours basically gasoline, I think, on himself or some kind of flammable liquid. And she lights him up, and then he just like kamikazes into it. I was like, damn, that is cool. Like, even though it is like it's just like the Witness Me thing from Mad Max, fine, but it was so awesome.
I love it. Yeah. That's why I love that tribe. That's why I wanted so much more, because they're just loyal followers of her. They understand, like, we lost everything.
Yep.
And she's got a mission. I'm following her to the end.
Yeah. I thought it was so cool.
But
I can't
do you
believe we
remember
didn't
the
get
iconic
another
line?
one. Huh?
Do you remember the iconic line that James Cameron wrote for Varang right as she lights him up?
As she lights
No.
fire?
Yeah.
Fire!
I am the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lame.
So on
Couldn't
brand
get
for
mad
James
at him.
Cameron, though, I'm not
Okay.
surprised. Not surprised at all. His dialogue's
First
always
draft.
been that bad. What'd you
I
say?
am the fire. I said that's a first drafter for sure. Like,
Yeah.
wrote down once, I was like, done.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
Send it.
I think it like maybe could have worked if then later in the movie, but again, like at some point you're not even getting that much fire from her. It just feels like sometimes she uses it, but also she's got the. I
She's
don't
got
know.
the I wouldn't even hate if we got like obviously it will never happen, but like a whole movie with her origin and just like her two little like spinning weapons and
Little thing she pull
the
out.
way she learns about the chemicals and like the drugs and all that. I just think is so interesting that we really could have spent 30 minutes on that in this movie and cut out some of the final battle, and it would have been better for it for sure.
Yeah, I want to see how she cocaine on that planet. Like, where did she find that?
Yeah.
Just the whole sequence for him going up to her for the first time. That is what was so good about 2 is like you took her from the forest and went to the water, and even though it is like a meme, like okay, now we're just going to. It's like you want to see new things, and so I wish we spent more time seeing that kind of ash environment. And I thought the volcano was gonna maybe come in more play, and maybe they had some control up there. I was expecting them to like bring that down to the water and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't mind the clash. I think that's probably the sweet spot for me is like I don't want to fully just go like forest in movie 1, water in movie 2, fire in movie 3, and then whatever air in movie 4.
Kind of air a little bit with the wind traders, but not full.
I would rather just be like, I'm okay with us moving away from the forest, but then when you're like, I mean, he told us, he's like, we're not leaving, we're not running, and that's okay. I think water versus fire is a really interesting, obviously an interesting battle, but we never really we get that standoff, which is really exciting, and then Quaritch just kind of de-escalates it, which is again I think makes sense for him in his like selfishness, but maybe in 4 we will get to see that more come to a head with the because it's not I think he's made it clear it's not going away, the fire clan Varang.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So in the water just looks so good that I love the time with the water, so it doesn't really bother me. To me, I'd rather spend more time with the water than the forest, personally. So
sounds like we're gonna, if it's the Tolkien rider, sounds like we're gonna get a lot, probably more of that.
Yeah,
I would think. But because now Pycon's been accepted by the tribe, he's not an outcast anymore, so maybe he'll be the leader.
This one was called Fire and Ash. You spent a lot of time with the war. Maybe this is tricking you. Do you think there's all going to be a war? And we're going to go to space.
Yeah, he's a space whale.
Space
Yeah.
Navi.
Yeah.
Well, like at the end of Avatar Fire and Ash, I gotta pee. So closing thoughts for me. Happy that it exists. We'll always go see an Avatar in theaters. I definitely leave way less excited. Like after I saw Way of Water, I was like, I can't wait to go see it in theaters again. I'm kind of at a point where like if I didn't see this one again in theaters, I'd be okay, which is kind of a bummer. Maybe I'll see it again, but I don't feel as like I got to like I did before. Curious to see where they take it. Optimistic. I hope that he takes some time and really, just really has a vision, because this one felt the most like he doesn't have a clear plan. This felt the most loose and the most like I'm making it up as I go, and that's never good, as we saw with the most recent Star Wars movies. So I hope that there's a good end game, and I hope that we get there in a satisfying way. If this is where it ends with the spider saying no shit, that will be very disappointing. So I will be supporting hopefully a new one. They earn a lot of money, so it feels like it's primed where they could do it, and so we shall see. So
How about you, Sean?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I'm on board. I'm obviously a little disappointed in this, but I still see potential in what the story could tell. For the way I think it's going to go. I mean, if not, James Cameron, watch this and take some ideas. But no, it's a good series. I think it is going well. They just could have done a lot more with this one, and I think he'll correct the ship on this one. He'll realize where he went wrong. Maybe not as long in a movie, but can James Cameron do anything less than 3?
probably not.
Yeah.
But I'm
I
on
mean,
board. Looking forward to it.
next one he announces and it's just 90 minutes. Like, can you imagine? That would be insane.
Again, I don't think it's a story you can tell in that. I'd say a 2 hour or 2.5 hours is probably comfortable for like this kind of story. But I think he'll. I mean, I know you say you want him to take a little bit of time. I just don't want him to take too long. I don't want another 10-year gap, and you're like, do I care anymore?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's totally fair.
I'm kind of there too. I still think at the end of the day, like big IPs, I'm more excited for Avatar than I am for another Jurassic Park, another Star Wars, another Lord of the Rings, any of those. I'm way more excited about Avatar, even if it's not. Even if this was the worst of the 3, I still had a great movie going experience visually. That's what I go to the movies for. For a movie like this, like right, I'm going in not expecting to be wowed by the story. I'm going in to expect to have like a great time and leaving like, wow, that was fun. And I think it delivered on that mostly, less than the others, but still enough to where like I'm excited for the next one. He'd have to like, I don't even know what he could do to like mess it up enough for me to be like, I'm not interested in seeing another one. So I think I'm kind of on board with Sean. I think he'll right the ship. I think he probably. What?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think he'll see the feedback here, and honestly, I do think a lot of it was expectations of what the trailer set out to do. Like, I think you change the trailer and you show a lot more water and stuff. I don't think the complaints go away, but I think that there are a lot less because going in, oh, we're doing the water thing again with this, or even just set up 2 to be like, oh, this is leaving us to finish this story in 3. So I don't think he'll make that mistake again as far as the marketing part of it, but hopefully. But yeah.
If he does another one of this quality, I would be then more interested in seeing what else he can make. Right? If he did this, another one, I'm like, it's fine, and he's only got so many years left. I do like James Cameron's filmmaking. I think he's made some iconic movies. I then feel more if he was like Pat, if he comes on here in a couple minutes and says, "Hey, would you rather make the 5th Avatar movie or make this Hiroshima passion project that I got?" At that point, I almost lean more Hiroshima. Like I'm like, I want to see what else you can do. You're starting to get a little tired in this world, if you have something really interesting still to say, as he claimed, right? I got 5 movies worth. I really just want to spend all the rest of my time here. Then I'm on board. But this one to me felt the least like interesting. Had the least interesting to say. So we'll see how forward goes. But yeah, overall, still like it's a fun movie going experience. It looks beautiful. It's Avatar. Still love the franchise.
I just feel like anyone could make a Hiroshima project. Not anyone, but like any big name director could do it well. Where like Pandora is just like you don't get to go see something like Pandora. I'd rather take even if they're this quality, I'm still having a cool time. Like Hiroshima doesn't get me excited to go to the movies. It just wouldn't. We're like going to see Pandora, even like a kind of a mid movie. It's like I'm still gonna have a visually awesome experience that no other movie is giving me to that degree. Right. So I think that's what's really driving me.
Egotistical. He's just too egotistical.
He is. I don't like James Cameron, but like I think to a degree he's earned it. I do think the Avatar movies are like visually the best. Top of the line. Some of the best of all time, but he does need to get out from his own butt. I think he sees Nolan as too big of competition,
and I think you can see his remarks on Oppenheimer. He wasn't like the kindness to it, and I think he thinks like I can do better,
I know.
which is
but
wild. Which
You
is
are.
wild.
You've got the
Oppenheimer's, like,
three
really
of the
good.
highest grossing movies of all
Yeah.
time. Like,
Sure. But just like the quality, like Oppenheimer is a really good movie. Like it's just wild to be dunking on Oppenheimer. It's just crazy to me.
yeah. I'm sure he also. I think Christopher Nolan is one of those directors that like can almost do no wrong. I know Tenet gets Tenet doesn't get as much crap as I feel like maybe it should. Like the audio design quality is bad. It is objectively bad. I don't, and the fact that he's just like, nope, it's exactly how I want it. It's just like, fuck you, dude. Like that's stupid. If no one in your audience can understand what your characters are saying, that's bad. And so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Likes it.
I could see it being frustrating as James Cameron of like Avatar gets more hate than like almost anything as a franchise. People just hate. They love to hate Avatar, and like Christopher Nolan could put out anything and people will praise it. So I could see that being frustrating.
He doesn't get a ton of hate. That's true. But
I do think
like I said,
Oppenheimer was great. So I like
You
Christopher
did?
Nolan. I do. I think it was really good.
Yeah, that's good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. It's not a movie that I'm like itching to
Oppenheimer?
watch again. Yeah, it's really long and slow. That was really good, but that's just not a subject that I'm like, I can't wait to watch a 3-hour movie again.
Yeah. Okay, well, the subject is just the filmmaking I enjoyed.
Yeah, filmmaking was good.
Benny Safdie. Well,
Thanks.
as they say on Pandora, yeah, he's in there. Isn't he?
I thought you meant he
He's
did
like
like I
He's
thought
like the Russian guy that's working
yeah, I
on
thought
the
you were
bomb.
saying he like did some of the choreography or something, or not the choreography.
Nah.
the dance sequence in Oppenheimer, remember?
Yeah, the big musical scene.
yeah.
As they say
Jimmy.
on Pandora. Well, Nagate Kame. I see you.
I
It's been a
see.
pleasure.
My Jake.
No
Excellent.
No shit. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, the final words of the Avatar franchise. No shit.
No shit. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you at the next movie club. Goodbye.
Don't tell me what to make. I don't care about your take. It's my channel, and I do what I want. Wow!